etu asenso timi demo afa wona me afrage ma den so wonum bia ebetu ase ademo na Ruta live na onim say dwey ebo ma mojan circulate here ebo ma immune system so tiagina bane Ruta tonic enso trouble typhoid fever and tetewa etu ase deku anam enso timi ademo afa no kan wan sanon so anam enso timi ademo me say na ba bia ton dwobia okwa we source etu ka Ruta natural product ebe na so timi ayi so 0244485632 nanem penifocus Alaska Star Enterprise dambe fa ayonwa ebon original wallpapers, blind curtains, wallpaper sofa covers, decorative watches and flowers, wallpaper PVC floor tiles. Alaska Sebana Beto here. Nanano Pai Kumasi branch ya Bia Waduma. Yane Prudential Plaza Edition Ma Romeses Anoche Plaza third floor and Crown Circle. Tiptole would one each of Enswetimo Tudwa. Yan MTTB office and Nas Ecobank Lady Shanimo 0200281080. Nanan Parifo Sweatwaka Satabia Heba Company Industries Holiday no Obuka Capo Omaye. Muko Thursday.
Yes, still now on your land.
Thursday, Thursday, and Mecca home or Snaka home. Yes. School for me because I'm a mate to a teacher and you could have need Jamako Wednesday. Yeah, there's a way that I could be here. And your man said, I'm going to Capotabia Takuno, not a free, or Tobiama Bema to Toby Adiamo, Bano Biatafre, a woman Pema Gudiano, and I'm also to Messi P. Asita, Tabia Zanikano, so immune system I am re. Yadebia Chuanado consider Missawada, Win a Benema Ebetua se Adiamo, after infections out Doniano, and I'm also to trust the Kudeku, and so at Madama Baby a turn to Biaka, when such a cabinamo Tabia about company industries, Anas and I put your Jakumase, Look one ma and Yawa Bojuma, 0243686861 and 24, as at Makas everyday prices for everyday people, and I pay, and make a 5 cents as at Mediamo, a bonus open fridge and freezers, open home theaters, open and television, open air condition, open mobile phones and sweat my usua, license for catchers and I pay, showrooms are all Ghana and Yabie, and I'm sweat with the Oko, no post for Kodonyama, I'm a Bias at Tokama, Dintels or Tonyama, and the free license and it's Omudiano and King Kanya Bebre, Ababro, I'm a nurse on Kanya Samus Aswate, I'm a Bias at Tokwa sweat with them for Nichemo, and so Ghana and turning trust will be a showroom with Biakwa, has a former Manyama, emulate supplement where air can take a pharmaceutical, herba, and research center, Roman Diaba, now we can take care by pharmaceutical research center, Alcohol for emulate nasa supplement Diane. Ayedie na we no dia tane say unya to bi pe immune system na ayem na memre na down from say ade bi no me so be na jabran ya de bi enso ntimi ntwonko ensedo ebe mo na say na owi dia no so aba kama ebe bo na yi na say diseases bia enum enso dia free na say ni padua no na mpo akọ ade atia infections and mpo diseases bia enos atete ni padua me na wa ankasesi amako na makaka pa emulate ba supplement ne be na me so metime di na bia so atimi akọ ne bottle no de afa ye pa Messiah contact Kantanka Herba Pharmaceutical and Research Center our Matufe so 0535-1128-73 Nason Makapa Pasco Herba Capsules Ebrebomu Yonko Nampato Sesa Ebia Brebuano and said one no Nyama Ama Nese Amabrabuano and Timmy Francia Messawata Wina Pasco Herba Capsules Ababo Maneswa Etma Francia our Bianson Etma Kama and answer to me Dama Afei Sabin to Swa Odiano infections outdoor anempo I address tewa me so unya dobia ababwa na yi ni na so de fu afei I address a fibia so e we di mi na no he post ko ba capsules e be ni na and so to me the fu be attend dobia kwa we so 8 makabe 0457453579 na no penifo so to akasa natural company limited say me can fantas ojo so tentam anato wojo so otin ya e wo benam wojo so sifita efu benam e ba se ansa na anadia ofa oyare etikope natural and as a prostate capsules lebe wonu bi abeko bibia abeko kama enam answet mi dem na 2 man capsules no we obi awa mra answet wo bam ba ma de boss so say na ba se ko 2 minutes Mr. 2 no na gasi ma fa so just fast out ye gu ani ma se no kope 2 man be Congo ointment arabwa na mpo jari ya ho utiti koko atatu nya no enam answet me to ase contact natural in Seshia e 024901 7101 no maka sababi atondo bi akwa wo so ubenya bi cement vital heba mixer capsules ne agan de wunya bi abeto sen anam tanso atimi da masabi ayo oba na pese ba ma usisi ayo gaga enu ati sabi auto sin tintira twetwo ya de bi a wo wiase bi a ya bia no ne brofo di ya da ebi asiatica no confirm bias atopme sanse ya de bi a de doctor katibia ayo ntatia case etimo na nim etiabani se stroke ana teto usisi ana how prostate ana infertility obana posa bama ontemengo mesawa da okomidima for ba center doctor the time abato so makora so nye enso etimofie afa sexual weakness ana teto ana the doctor atenete ena no perfani chemo biako agogo school Johnson momo nkaso epoku asemayira doctor at the time ato so 0244774282 na so no makasi ye na se na serious otakukula twesro oye sankani ana posa Yobia, oya nurse na vehicle owner, mesawa da kopesi was otrakukulant debe, na so to me use them be as etum kama, and I'm answering from an unabia, I will prevent wind from overheating and caneno, and on your cotton yourself, you obey a drum and you do a so. Piota Rama, me Piota from me come over, Manari, we did Marinat, Mesrao, Korokopesi was otrakukulant debe, about wow, no, there's a wind, so I want deno, and also at what jump and I'm a biaso, let me come at them. Mesawa da one panifon kan sesi anajo de 0544133169 na so ne panifo akasa no agi serious otaku kulati na bia ayekama ediamao
wo yamre na yenhwe yen question of the day no ene Dr. Amuzu Adaroma Amuzu P anekuta question of the day no na question aye bisa ene no Amuzu P ene mo yare adru infections ana how adwuna nya Amuzu P bia eno ebetimi aboase gono bi na wate ana asem bia oyo ba asio nka bi kakra onsuo bi tagua wo de wadru enye no abeboa na bibie kamenti Amuzu P no adwamanso no de bia beko bia pharmacy bia no benya bi enso atimi ato Dr. Amuzu Adaroma ene question na doctor asiemu sound no eni enti yenhwe na afi yen project here na yen share artwork na da so no for the sake of okay is it TV 90 wa ye describe ya mo hwe na ye catch mo I see name a player who can miss from this position ya boy the boy require him za share you Jan Krebe say and you was say player be pa bia unim ni say boy ya asha wie krai unu ade no koka ebe ye free pool no mu ama asem aba why na who position be say about team say boy we pay clear chance who said the commentators na can glorious opportunity but who say player betima squander de na bato atwene baby crowd that you know on tiase crowd do for the and say do for ni galado akwana do play and chances here be an oboto tune no okay what are into it
where you post na say na your kasi say definitely is Randall Kolomwani and on so atimida about free soccer and soccer and on so Shefi Ahmed Dazi say Dembele at Barcelona a rich destiny Ferran Torres and Odeba Michael Yeboah as Ronaldo is able as Kwame Icardi as Ferran Torres and also Odeba young icon as Nicholas Jackson at Chelsea as Benjamin Nicholas Jackson as excellent Lord and so Nicholas Jackson that thing in him that GHSA Dilap afei Odronyako and some Echo Adama Dilap Nicholas Aya Cosmos on also Echo Adama Dilap Dilap video of Roman and some Etima Monzano a branch and the answer Nessa Junior Alonso as Ronaldo at Anasa a first spirit Anasa Espirito as Nunez and Jackson man for Gilbert as Vergos and honest Adaba a for Gideon Nicholas Jackson Benjamin Owusu Nico Jackson a fame a branch and the Ade Owusu Ayakosi Amos as a Mase Ajema Ajeni Boatenas Lukaku Martin One and so Ferran Torres Misco as a Messi Samson Anna Amnesty Junior and so say Barcelona but Ferran Torres and Odiaba Dr. Kwame Boni and so say Lukaku Young Rich as a Darwin Nunez a fame Nana Yeboah Everlasting and so say Oko not put on the program on us monitor Bright Asari and so say Ferran Torres Kobe and so say Morata afei yewu say Aaron Ocho say Luis Suarez Jan Cosmos as the lap Jan Abeya Fair Branch Fedo Nana Kofi Afriye and so say Yakubu Aibeni and on us Adiaba Indomie Messi Felix as Nicholas Jackson Gideon Mate as Nicholas Jackson David Asabe and so say Holland Young Rich as Darwin Nunez and I know Kushiko Jokom say Ferran Torres and Odonso Etini Ede Abba
well Steven Richard Ofori na Steven Richard Ofori the Messi day was say chance goalie okay Alcabla was say it's obvious Eric Go days at House of Oak Eric Go ebese boy and no Alka Blay and away Eddie Blay a message or day Abani Joshua Joe Larry as a Yakubu Agbeni Odo Isaac se Ferran Torres ebese chancy Anani Kunsuko Dokum se Ferran Torres Odo Isaac se Fernando Torres okay and we have Fernando Anani Kunsuko Dokum se Ferran Torres a branch Tabis County was Timo Vana Nanafe Jackson Umbese chancy Anyan Evans as a Sasku ebese no Rance Ike as Yakubu Agbeni Melanie Jr. say Mozart from Kumasi likely to be Nicholas Jackson and after Richard O Aqua and so said the day Aju ebese boy and no Tono Diaba Benji Fancy Serious Nicholas Jackson and no and some day Abenano Penese Ghana Fortune Cheno Ebi and some Anya de Mamono Abronoma Kwaku Sami Tuga and some a message in ye was a Richard Ofori and no and so a day Abba I don't some no a day Basaibu Al Benzema as a Lami Jama ever say chancey and a Surfing Pons and Darwin Nunes and so ever said into a Argentine be Adomu and soon a day Abba I don't some no and the man and pay away into media so I'm back to a quote no any yenche Nafi and Kwamon ne Niamfa latest no Emra the other kind any 110 O's and a Dika BW42 EDA 0FB 110 O's no the across 102 BW42 ED7 FD6 112 O's the across 90 BW42 EDB B50 yeah the across 11 O's BW42 EE8 09C 11
okay
you try to a 6 BW42 EE9 064 and we are 6 O's I want some kakra no yenko na yemfa amanoni nsem ntoaso mfa se bibia ni obi
oh bibia no na udru aya Kentampo Vassen Hotel
okay
yeah boys no honoma Vassen Hotel oh Charlie enye easy pra omo monitor show no pa
otako
the mintanko
okay
but say unse obi honoma wa unim ni dada
oh yeah
omo ye obi a omo ye nkofo a omo monitor show no pa ntutu Kentampo yeah Kingston
okay
bibia e fine oh
party yankomra abuja yakwa mro ne abana yato aso de my Wontumi 101.3 FM Wontumi TV digital satellite da so and Facebook and YouTube and so yekomo so yenkwa
Angwa juma no you Yami wo hoda se uji didia obeya juma Asachre no you Yami wo hoda se uji didia obeya juma ye bompaye shamachi shra Yehuwa ilahenu Yehuwa ekat we ahata et Yehuwa Elohika bika luvika uvika naveshika uvika miyodika tode yashak in English in the name of Jesus amen.
Amen. Shout out, come on, boy, Capo. Sorry, Capo chairman. I feel like chairman.
Yes. And so natural say wakwa kasa Africa abibram adumra asem penifo ka wo mu bom na afa wo mutimi jabi bi man and so nefa brofonsem na some ya wakwa kai ama ane penifo palai e wo chese nyire se abrochimemu and afa mu eka na de wo ka nyina no wo se du emra sa French foi won say uba Africa wo Togo and afa wo Burkina Faso and afa Mali and la Côte d'Ivoire French for no wo mu na afa ho anso nafa and afa ba the western side over Ghana nom and afa Nigeria nom and afa Sierra Leone nom ni ata in the country wo mu ka woni nyina no e ade sa profi UK foi wo mu so na te so tenten afa about a part of Africa Portuguese foi wo mu so na ata say Africa for leaders no san ko mu ka wo mu oboma was Africa enye po say man for e was Africa bi memu enso ehia adokru wo mu na ye betie nkoma Lewis Hamilton dituda ahead of Australian Grand Prix eno ebaswa wakodin nkoma ma yatene so atua ata say nya asemeto yentie nkoma na ye ba de watwe ye baba bi called Daily Telegraph wo mu enso adi statement aba wo ma condemn guy ensema wo de abetu de baba na afia baba din ko ne mom no ye betie ne nkoma na nsana yatoa so.
I think it is the most beautiful part of the world, and I don't like that the rest of the world owns so much of it and takes so much from it, and no one speaks about it. And I'm really looking forward to hoping that the people that are running those different countries all unite and come together and take Africa back. That's what I want to see. Take it back from the French, take it back from the Spanish, take it back from the Portuguese and the British. It's so important for the future of that country and for that continent. I mean, they have all the resources to be the greatest and most powerful place in the world, and that's probably why they are being controlled the way they are. But anyways, move on.
Eno enkoma wadi na amse osemo kai enkofo bebre afa sem na uko England amanfo ka bebre ensom na se obese okotena Africa Telegraph no obamam omo post na ye din koma na enkoma ekoso nyina se Hamilton omo say is nothing more than a parasitic in a brat and should keep off his mouth on kana no kwantum na fe se obekọ Africa na wakodi ni juma na wakọ ensom na kwa akodi amanfo or African descent ntama as for love or doesn't could be at the map bibi man and or ka bibi man sama ya dem na won sabri nyina no and so adeba and ano pray away njuma day and so madam mama Patrice Mochepi one and a gem CAF president no reporter man so no so ya tense ne walk into politics akorane ANC womu and so not political and party no ono na ekodi animu na so do mu aba election ANC fo na reporter na ba no Krabiano and so enim so no kwakorem na fe wono erem into politics na fe woni ANC fe and so letting aba into power and no I report a few adeba do something nyina no at the eba our French Liga enra Monaco fe wo mo team e friend PSG abomu ekami and so mo take no emu eba ko no kakra e fo no adeba clochi ono ebogo anafe Golovin and some lesaba ko anafa Brent Balagon wono and some adeba ko to Balagon no and a board the last goal at them 73rd minute when we and some nullified winning goal they are doing something no and so at the Eba Bradley Bacola and I said the only goal and some of them are PSG when we LSU game and I said table no we said the city are PSG free when we have 57 points I'm a lens free and some over 53 now me and two men when we ever ball when we ball now when we share about 1 point different now when we and some and the PSG free when we they a bomb our the league title no so ya dem I won 7 lectures ni nyina no and so at the Eba na manager no e dey atuda manager Luis Enrique one no and coach PSG one boboko no was here dumra as a PSG team the boys no one mo ka mo bom na fe omo and so start every game because attitude one mo ade bobo no dey enyo samo ko na mo boni say ade in the league no enya dey sem automatic say the PSG United who has set a points gap and some city woman you know no man you yama one more ever look through the league title and summer if you on my table I don't some no at the airbar woman next game woman Chelsea and at the airbar now I say I am very happy say one of the best club woman we are say Ebesia woman say Chelsea nanu ye and at US of A Club World Cup Chelsea for woman grand finale SMO now more call revenge and I know so debut match no cry boy sacho almost best 6 months ago and as a match no and also the bass for Chelsea team as I'm a manager new manager and some and a bunch team no a different team altogether compared to team of Chelsea boy our US of A woman just Club World Cup no and then performance and to another and as some no more for no game no a very different contest and I am some manager I have said Luis Enrique no what them to try to I want some no at the Eba Nuno Mendes and Chelsea game no ram game no method by and I'm a Nuno Mendes one more ko show up no desire and he say we may win this game no and from Chelsea Boboko no and no Nuno Mendes a messenger what them by Deseret Due and so game against Chelsea Saint House no and I say two great teams and Asia for game and Baba so now PSG from Chelsea so much until last time man woman see our US does not do as Chelsea yantemo omajitum no some match ready be show up pa and so at Chelsea team no and I am some does not do it and them not to Marquinhos and so Chelsea ready to win the trophy woman say Chelsea some no so debut and that Chelsea game na ya wo the trophy and woman say enti the trophy there say so Chelsea obstacle na dey when you know and so breaky and so na title number Promodia a title crown trophy no and woman you also and no a Marquinhos and somebody out to ya them I some p atema na anwa Bayern Munich woman so ya there woman a game the bass woman Borussia Mönchengladbach at the Apple and me ama game no and me ama koye pa Konrad Lama ebo go I dikan and as some less than New City Luis Diaz no and ama go dikan by ma fe Lama eba kuso so ya ma Musiala ebo penalty and some less and Sarah Nicolas Jackson a ball in the last goal in 79th minute no and Nico Jackson and so they go at them ama team na do some no at the back when you for Maicon Cardoso one and that's no now other Maicon by Safa Maicon to some me one the youngest and the player Enra ni age no 17 years and akudai and some any debut at the ama team your friend said the Bayern Munich Enra one no all said any age ni city 17 no afena masa coach and so companies say Juma Vasan company ball at the ama ban and one day akwawe what also Marco 7 and koda teenagers woman your debut at Jama Bayern Munich ebobo conditions and all akodawe Maicon abatoso Marco 7 at the ama team no nanwa akodane sen ani ajepa as on your opportunity a boy yeah at them ama the best club we are say na akwawe ne papa any Henrik Douglas okay na Henrik ne papa no nane papa and so a footballer and what they ne bana kodawe omenta foni ne bako wonon ayo ba obo atema and the team your friend PSG e man team no into football no their family no pa na yebetiam akra no ayo friend say Michael Cardoso kakra de atutwa ni nyina no ayo modern ma wonon so born and I am very happy as on your opportunity about ama one of the best clubs we are say yentie Michael kakra on the two da tumadia odina amra e won komo and yeteba Luis Diaz since we join the team I am friend say Bayern no 35 games was 20 goals I 16 assists na always the university in every 80 minutes you both say Luis Diaz enya goal at the Bayern Munich ebobo konesa no montomo and some na konkan eyepa na Vasan company enwa Nicolas Jackson enwa Nico masa bob pa enwa o tresa sembia hurricane niwa wonu betime jana na so apodwuma ne kama de ama Bayern Munich bobo no na Vasan company on Nicolas Jackson the situation our Chelsea was enwa ne born there betime kase enwa na ne born efe enwa na we happy with the performance one also Madana D and what did to us since or Johnny team on Nicholas Jackson any problem the boy no or body ball when any day or ball MOB a ball no over to me a ball one thing our back can say consistency and Juma or Bono or Sena watching on your opportunity or bar on San and Sasera Bay and Yama and some Ebekoye at the Amananian Koma what are the two guys doing something in ano and some at the man I pay over to Madia so not Ninati and was added to just the situation in the already on Casa MBA when you play and watch Charles and Abaya Munchin said about to the season of Quena when we began to quiet our and some Charles in one to that's already situation betting us at any time or you don't know born not to furniture one I dare say Oman account or meeting us and some Sadri and no air reporter if you know a day by Yama Musiela and Nipa 41% or more and some a voted man is a man of the match and my Shama Musiela and I am Matama or born Enra I are doing some and some Matamanano pay now Enra on Captain Samban for the first time when I'm banned at a trade to Matima your friend said by a Munchin and what you to that Enra is okay power because now in a Joshua come take a chance on the unbanned Manchester Mobon and Wapa because governor not Leon Gareska Ejnamu Leon Gareska a older or a senior player and some China or the captain man is on band on Family Bono a DSM Amananiti and no I a big Anna I want some let me or to say the captains unbanned a day I'm a by Munchin Umbobokuno and then a reporter by and Ramano Noya and so the first half as a son not reporter man is a precautionary measure and Emma woman changing Manoya and some no person said I anything serious beer and no a dear phone a day by a doing some and some let the Mammy Messi nearly come and better more Messi team no woman I could do Washington Nanami Aduma woman at Washington DC again no and some Babaso and we're into Miami and to Messi and then entourage in you now Messi bodyguard in here but beer out in a chill the Biombe so kunko aneja wadom edi animoni adia na wan kunko ani aniwa bra emia o salary no amo enti wo de ane se de bia obedi animu na waboni anso ban na bibia anso makọ kamanti we bodyguard na oni team no ana odi o manim ade ko training ade wonsam no anso de ba kwa kunkum maza nye kra na bodyguard Messia obejeja ho unyeja ho kra wonsam ani ade ema no na unim say yo Messi e training na no maza nwa unu abo na atena kasa unu practice a obo na atena na ze unu anso na hwese kwambia so wadi Inter Miami ebe big decision na nu amanso na Inter Miami womu club owner aya fonu Jorge Mas wakasa wasilio Messi afibia oka Messi salary ni bonuses anafe ene na Messi enso nya ne sponsor kakra team no ensom na demana kakra bia onya no okeka boma eno no Messi between 70 and 80 million dollars a year ana Messi ensom nya na esa Messi to galapa e wacha sa Miami Chrono so acha sa DC kanye sikage to akra eno e de phone ma deba na woni say gamer o mane Washington say ana say DC United for no ensom na bono reporter men say kan and say MT Bank Stadium wo ana game the air so me say wo mo aton ticket no be say 62,000 and wo maton na ni fadodo eso mo ba no e 71,000 and afi wo mo aton 62,000 tiefi and then anso couple anyway ya be say ticket no anso betimi akọ up to 71,000 ahead of the game and then baso na woni say Messi and afi Inter Miami team no mo ko pie mu e White House and dey em say obi anim say wo mo ekopie o e man sam ne dey doso Donald Trump e kan say me na woni say koma course no Mascherano your manager at ama Inter Miami bobo ko wa explain and you may see White House na osim omunya invitation esa wo mu ambra White House abra omuji league no na nkoma course na omunya time enti edu say omobeko Washington no many DC for no and some nakobo no mo say esa no wo mu ekọ White House no many Donald Trump and some letting come because no invite wo and just mu ana the first gentleman of the state I offend say Donald Trump Trump some an invitation and to Mokoi no woman's invitation a purely football a football issue not any other matter SMBA womeko ama papa no agina platform so at team na politics I can sambia I have na omono am say mascarano no ontimi ka some point blank SMBA no monya where SM also Iran and toko akofo womo any US of any command bia Donald Trump edu ya now to this I am more political no I just say a team no mum mascarano ontimi nka or treasure on the do kan say womo alcohol basically on football issues and idea womo and some letiko anything any football idea no monya where SM no betime see our conversation and also cause between Donald Trump and United when a team from Inter Miami and no the phone manager no at Inter Miami at the clarification about more unqualified politics womo equity football come and the phone madeba Ronaldo Bannon Cristiano Junior woni Thiago Messi sankra we mienu wo nyina no dati bia se omutumi enso etimi eye se omo bo Spanish national team possible as the Spanish national team ebetime nyom because omo nyina omo parent no and some our legends to afata we our Argentina we all Portugal no we majetum say omo bo at the ama Spain and say Spain national team na possible as ebetime nya Messi ba no and after Ronaldo omienu enka be de e Spanish national team no ano the phone mateba din 70 tema Ronaldo no report about say serious injury no serious the maintenance say Ronaldo cause pain na fe wano ensom Madrid Promo yaso okosia specialist na onene din komo na omo amane good treatment say the bear and we man som bear kama dem zero na the treatment na cause Ronaldo no enon komo fi Ronaldo aso ye ensom at the ensom the tema na me atuma Inter Milan ni AC Milan ensom na game ne baba so Lautaro Martinez game we a big game at the Emma Martinez na mo pra ensom adwiye pa na enra our training grounds or community training no ko ita ni team no ensom na chi say the bear Inter wo mo enso boys no ebenya mora na omote aboke munita no aye de fi Lautaro Martinez na so de ba head of the tabia and no ensom na Barcelona nim say player one ensom na say more and the match winning goals our top 5 leagues no aye branch Lautaro Martinez this season was 9 goals and no aye you can say winning goals match winning goals say ya bo match na fe only as a team no winning na player be bo winning goal no our top 5 leagues ni na no and some and the can was 9 and some and I fe Kylian Mbappe and Alan Hala on some as 8 ya de and some de ba de and some no de mama me fika tomorrow ni come player we difficult as oba na kenepa was Lautaro Martinez and there is Lautaro Martinez no we say the city was the height no on said and you be our height sa nemum no we say the otno na born e bam so to we calculate here and say born e be fa ha enti ujane ti abo say ubo na sharp oyi atem afan no amane difficult as oba mark Lautaro Martinez and no Fikayo Tomori and I do it to Ghana Victor Osimhen and have Dybala omienu so eden so mark ma e difficult far and no commode atu do don some no and so adeba Kevin De Bruyne after say Ukraine no on some back a day aman Napoli after 132 days yasanya Kevin De Bruyne awan so aba obetini tuma ne kama and some no wa yate ensem pe atem amane later sa if one adeba inte ebobo konmati so mo monitor Real Madrid asem Andrew Lonen womu sabetima kana na me aya tuma ye be transfer window womu abesa Andrew Lonen womu sabekana na fe wono ansem akoti tuma na bibia kama yama England ni ani komana League 1 no we from the Football League 1 our Englander they say Jacose wono a coach at the Luton Town say Cardiff dika almost 72 points Lincoln City our 71 Bolton our 61 Brentford City was 58 Luton Tower wono at the 10th position no mom Jacosa say or the team no baba or the baba championship na or the baba championship was ni fear udu ni fear teams no anasa ni fear for no be so about Tottenham eboboko no etu no na ni better pass oba ene what the team no e feel League 1 ever championship and the first game on Tottenham omun na ye e league table no so e Premier League into o make relegation na o maba championship no mo ba championship no ma o pesenka ono mo first game no Jaco say no some of them atu 20 yebetie Jack Wose kakra or the atuda.
The dream scenario for you next season to be managing Luton in the Championship against Tottenham?
The dream would be for me to manage Luton in the Championship. I think I watched a little bit of Tottenham last night, and I've said it a lot of times, and believe it or not, a lot of my family are Tottenham fans, and over the years we had some really good banter about it. But at the moment my dream is to manage Luton in the Championship, and it might be against Tottenham.
Would the dream scenario
and Jaco say Jaco say na start here over Tottenham eboboko na no ayensem efro deba mama Jesse Lingard ne ni nkoma say udum the Corinthians omutim no ma wanya sign ade amomo till the end of the season na season no kwana wi Jaco Brantia ye fe ni Jesse Lingard ensom ene omo ebewie nemom option as obesa another year ade amomo option for another year and ayenkoma efro no ma deba Bruno Fernandes enra Jesse Lingard Sanwe no and ono so equal like ni post no Instagram and yen koma e from Adeba Manchester United Mason Greenwood reporter ban say Mason Greenwood onya manhua obesaba and koma na kwaso yase Manchester United womu a board member bako e pusi say womu sanfa Mason Greenwood and Manchester United yase one board members no egu so one board member and e convince and so mo fa Jason Brantia ye fe Mason Greenwood emra na oguso am convince board members said and a player no and some betimi abani nkoma a free Mason Greenwood aso ya dey den 70p and some dey na modemo e konkan e wo lift the man say 24 goals 8 assists our 34 games are one so ngabo your GDS oba manua and you no best assist and you ma be kama e Manchester United and no nkoma free on Madeba na mame no Onana Andrew Onana de mayu for na nya ka say Onana pa de wo mu hia no Manchester United game na unim sam ni do no our transfers for one reporter ban say kamayu ebese team no permanent na mo team no say wo mu enya 45 to 50 million euros and fan sign and a player I find say Andrew Onana permanent deal wo mu nyes kan and fan sign Onana new vice president your friend say the Kafkas ono and the san come no and some other students say wo manya likely send their player no be say return and some about Manchester United and on come for na send their manu as I no be Cologne e wo ba before and on come free Manchester United wo ma so dey ba Patrice Evra and the atudo say come manu a player come no or diamond at Manchester United so Manchester United munim player no so fast wa obetimi aka cho say player we or diamond as Manchester and mine come mine ye o mo mine player ni ya or diamond or a big asset at Manchester United and on some Patrice Evra at the atudo and some play them now Manchester United report about is 2026-2027 season one more a season ticket we might increase the price no and so 5% Old Trafford war now report about says say one more transfer we adult we bet £2 per game and have obi under 16 and crano and some we bet £1 and no to phone my table no say lowest adult in the season ticket adult we lowest crowd we bet as an adult 646 pounds and I bet the whole season and on Manchester United reporter a free man you as we are there and 70p no and some another Glazer family womu adebi na aduomo ya ni say womu monitor Tottenham situation Glazer fe womu de man you a business yase omayo say Manchester United team no ngofo bebre so moto shake for bebre o match mo ti say o munya manyu a o meto manyu na Glazer for ne so mo monitor Tottenham situation no as Tottenham for relegation o makoto team no wo mu atebe say 2.5 billion pounds at the better Tottenham eboboko no na o mu also Tottenham for no more stadium kase ho wo mu so menya baabi anso abomo and just NFL games o menya baabi abo boxing o menya baabi aya concert enti o mu the stadium no club business siko mbenya no enye ise kra enti o ma dream say team no relegation o mekwa koto team no na o ma to Manchester United and on the fit Glazer o ma so de ensem pi no enso de ebo mu giri se omunya tonama o metim de business o stadium no kra no enso a big asset ade na omu anom report ever diamante e wo Arsenal and say ene omu game no abeba so na Arsenal match no omu ne Mansfield and e ball e wo the FA Cup no na unim say players I womu antimi antroni enra e Declan Rice ono arrest here Gabriel Magalhaes enso arrest here Abrante Jude Timber arrest here Martin Zubimendi arrest here William Saliba doubtful Ben White enso na tie injury and after Martin Odegaard ekotoje Mika Moreno so no and a photo in team Wontumi Anthony enra enom na defo deba na unse enra teta training oya what the academy players ni bi and so ebe remu ama omutumi training ama nyama so nakwa kama duma team no na Arsenal Abrante Lewis Kelly report about say oba Messi game no ontumi money nyina no say pick yellow card against where Portsmouth woman in Wigan a game no boy no or pick 2 yellow cards if you and Kenya say a bit me amana ball and a game a Barcelona Lewis Kelly and you're getting some to draw now Mika Marino report about say Marino Diano Matisse yes woman the green light man is Uncle Spain na Uncle Twaso na one the rehab no na from your man kama na the woman is saying say omo treasure okono ne family no and so eko bom na o yan rehab na and your man be kama ade amano ti onko na on family no so enkobom na afi onya rehab na afi mi amanye kama no aya Mika Marino and ya telling some no and so dey ba dey tin sanhwe at the end of the season no Arsenal for enya no emane mo ene maten famo mo no aya banus adimo mo na Ateta William Saliba so ade no and so Saliba dey I said the American kase no training kwa we dey no aya dance so bia game amo ball against Mansfield a bit me abobi yebetie Ateta message kakra o kafa William Saliba
had an ankle.
Yeah.
Is it related to the ones he had previously in the
No, it's the other one.
Okay.
So yeah, we saw the same straight after the game because he was carrying. He wasn't comfortable to finish the game, and after that straight away he didn't have a good feeling. So let's see if he recovers quickly.
Would it be a possibility for the weekend?
But doubt eso betimi aka se mi obetimi abo Saliba de and we dey atudwa na team no mo kopo no and we dey atudwa say Ford no ontimi enkasa say embia ombenya good game but Ford no ntise Emirate ntise omo stadium no but ombe manage say the city bia the Gunners we mu ebe manage Ford no pitch no eno enkoma coach eri atudwa enti no.
Have you seen or heard about the pitch?
I asked about the pitch. Why?
Well, there's not a lot of grass in certain areas.
I don't know, but this is the beauty of this competition as well. You have to go there, you have to adapt. We have been playing since I was leader. We are playing those stadiums or worse. So you need to adapt to that context and make the most of it.
There's been quite a few upsets this season. You as a player, is there a FA Cup game that you look back on and think?
I don't want to put that negativity, but I have the feeling.
No, maybe
we've been knocked
had
out.
a scare or
No, we've been knocked out a few times in a difficult way, and it's a terrible feeling. And it feels like it damages your reputation. Yeah, you don't want to go through that. So in order not to go through that, you have to prepare so well and compete so well.
No enkoma ekosonti Arsenal manager no na oteso den komo ba Mikel Arteta enie na professors Evra so akasa on Arsenal team no say mo bo abofe Arsenal na de biana wo mo bo ba fe ye piapia na ye prepre wo say he Arsenal team no samo ya abofe piapia prepra or catch Mikel Arteta say on finding way of scoring and as a winning the games done NBA bo na FO Arsenal bo FA petana wo mo bo tiki taka wo mo bo FA zida bio say mo pesa mo stop Pep Guardiola na or dominate Premier League na ade ye say o finding a way of winning matches than o bo FA also no it doesn't care about playing beautiful football no a way of winning a game finding a way of winning a game and no and abetimi and so akasa wo ye team na mom enu kwan say Ateta energy say o please you be a league num and one na bobo FA no entumi mo e ma game no enkoye emom ntimi league titles no ɛyɛ nsɛm ade atodwado nsɛm no nyina no ɛnso ade ɛma na no pro dwumadie no so na ɛne Mansfield manager team na Arsenal wɔn no mo ɛbɔ no Mansfield so wɔn manager fɛ no Nigel Clough wakasa wɔse game no wɔn ɛba na game na ɛba so no wɔn nim players no mbɛbɔ ɛde ama Arsenal ne deɛ sɛ mo na preparant wɔn timi ɛnkyerɛ sɛ wɔbɔ na mo no formation a Mikel Arteta ɛde bɛ wura mu ɛwɔ game ne de aso mo little bit idea bi ɛwɔ sɛ de nneɛma bɛsi akɔ no sɛ sɛ wɔhwɛ Mansfield team yi na ɔmo ne Premier League leaders ana ɛbɔ a wotumi sɛ match no ɔmbɛ mo a tough game na mo no wɔn nso a prepare for game a ɛno ɛba so manager Nigel ɛne Clough ɛyɛ manager ɔna de sansɛm wei ɛde to the head of the game a wɔn ne Arsenal ɛbɔ ni na Chelsea team no mami manager papa fɛ ne sɛ Liam Rosinio akasa na Joao Pedro and was say yɛkasa Joao Pedro on trade player no for another player asɛm bi a mo kwagye player bi ɛwɔ abɔnteɛ so momfa Pedro na mɛgye player bi waso ɔno deɛ ne Pedro no ɔno ano ohia no na ɔka de kɔto dwa sɛ Pedro no wɔno wadu the level of Mbappe and after yɛka Haaland mo top level na akwawe ɔhɔ bio or the same level yɛka category a ɛno nso wɔ soro ɛsɛ ɛne Mbappe nom and after Haaland mo ba ɔbɔ bi paa na mo ɔne asɛmpoɔ fɛ du baabi a mo nsɛ na nka nsɛmpa anaasɛ mo nsɛ na hype akodai sɛ dɛ mo hype other players no ɛnom ɛyɛ nsɛm a Liam Rosino afei atodwade nsɛm no pɛdɛm a wɔwi ɔse James nso captain adema Chelsea reporter by ne nyina no wɔn ne obetumi aka ɛne sɛ boy ne bestay ɛwɔ Chelsea ɔmo nwase for the contract because ɔmo sɛ ɔmo wɔgye sɛ player yi ɔno ne nkwa ne nyina ɔbɛbɔ de ama Chelsea nti ɔno no ɔmfa n'ani ɛnkyɛ baabi a nti ɔmo ma ne time na afɔ no nso atumi abɔ ne ball ɛde ama Chelsea no ɛyɛ reporter ɛfɔ no mate bɛde nsɛm no pɛdɛm a na wonim sɛ Chelsea goalkeeping department ɛyɛ ɛne Jorgensen and after Robert Sanchez omienu na report any latest I mean say can say yes Chelsea manager no ojidi sesem bia Jorgensen no ono no ase yemfi box no mumra na yemei ball no ase oyɛ better kakra some yemfi box no mumra 1-on-1 emei ball no ojidi sem bia Jorgensen no far better and so no more report am ba ne say ojidi say one Robert Sanchez difference no what difference be anim and so no team num to what we done na say we dem and say situation in the same no more report am say can say the arrival of Abraham Mike Pendes onabedu na me adoma sama no and the best goalkeeping department no and some our Chelsea the competition and some never to me by no a reporter you some so Chelsea team no reporter ban say annual training no and we ma kwa kama adema Chelsea team no na o say the new man society coach no at the academy players no the players ba ku mienu bi and some eba be rat team no say the bear and we ma ebe koye at the ama Chelsea we mu eboboko no omne restam and airball e the FA Cup no na o say annual training across so we say en nkranum obenya ene Ryan Kavuma and after no no McQueen one no a boy and we training kama and Jesse Diary and some about training coming to reporter eba so mu nyina betimi travel and after other boys are what they kind amomo Debbie Reggie Waston wo mu nyina no and some betimi training kama na reporter eba sen kwano and so ebetimi and omo Debbie and our team no and a reporter but na William Extivao say and a situation is it coach no as some player near back nemum Wontumi nkasa ene obebo anasembia omo eno eye kakrefo de be yebetie coach no on Abrante fan say Estivao ne de no and we do as a player no back on the pitch was started at the ball eye adwuma nemum say obetumi abo onye ready for game ene eno so baba so eno Liam Rosinia and ekasa ade afa William Estivao and so why de ensem p no by ready betie manager no and come on boy it as a player na ready and as onye ready was for this one the player no and you're ready for this one.
He's not ready for this one. We need to be really careful given the state it was a hamstring injury, so he just needs to clear a few more markers before we put him back in, but obviously it'll be a big boost to have him back in the group.
And anyone else that we don't know about kind of not available?
No.
Picked up any knocks this week?
No, Jamie Gittins is getting really close, which is great. He had a really positive scan So hopefully within the next 7 days he'll be back in the group. In terms of from the Aston Villa game, there's no injuries from that, which is fantastic.
And Lavia, is he ready to...
Coach no area to draw. You know some Bamame Brentford for one player. I got Thiago. And on some Edim Komakakra Edi Abba na Extivaya and Wakasadi Afano Wodim Komakakra na Nina is a player and Ka Unya one in the both together player Unya one in the Besiakan and Ibeji Extivao Yentie quality sir or churches Extivao wa Emmanuel a complete player. I got Thiago.
What Brazilian player in world football would you like to play alongside?
I think Esteban. You know, yeah, I think we played like together in Cruzeiro.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw him like 2 times when I was there. So he has like so many quality. He's a good guy. So yeah, I look forward to it.
Okay. What Brazilian player in world football would you like to play alongside?
I think Esteban. You know, yeah, I think we played like together in Cruzeiro.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw him like 2 times when I was there. So he has like so many quality. He's a good guy.
I got Thiago and I didn't some no and now almost is on board a player better player with left foot and Azambia they're right niti player where quick and and also intelligence kakra and also with better player or speed in the left air come on the right what dream no say and I will see who and also what players no obiane Eichel a sharp nina uchim Adwola said this season the team no and Sharanya complete team said you who in the city last season and after other season second na do Kenyan and say title hope no I still alive one team no complete this year said you open no title no the hope no I still alive na you better take akra no or say season we and man koya on be build a better team next season yentie Pep just say Pep Guardiola.
If I'm better in some departments you have to Still, we are not a complete team to compete to be a solid. That is the reality. But we are in the process of many changes if we can learn quicker, that still is nothing lost, we can quicker, to arrive in the last month with the chances. But I'm pretty sure next season will be better, I don't have doubts about that.
I know I am some Pep Guardiola and to Dana Pep as I say premiership no Pep Guardiola so by our notice BB and coaches no attack complaining about refereeing do baby your poor match abon say na play coaches no on so many referee din ko bit me fair referee na omo complain was on that kind of manager what is so be fair referee our phone so and I say you be fair referee and so after games on chechemu decision bi our J anko you so no on that time 10 years ni our Premier League no on said who so no Pep Guardiola our sa attitude no na Pep akasa atutu bi adem ama engofo kakra was sa enioma ekoso na nyina no and say referees no mama modem so na nyama enkoyi Pep ekasai.
So I can say here they could do that, but I give up. But definitely but not now, for long time ago. Because when the travel in quadruple was completely the same. So I'm not going to fall. I'm not a guy who called the referees the day after to say why do this, why do that. Never ever in 10 years. I know a lot of my colleagues do that. I know the colleagues for the old generations do that. I never call Howard Webb or call the guy. So I'm not wasting my time with that. Nothing in the schedule. The broadcasters decide because they say we pay a lot of money. Okay, well done. I got a lot of money. Thank you so much. You are so kind. So it's that. So
on the obviously the St James's Park game, the 2-1 was a big game. A lot of talk about the referees.
And that game.
Are you surprised? Are you surprised that they gave you the same one?
It's good. It's good. That's good.
Pep, La Liga moved Real Madrid game from Sunday to tonight, while Ligue 1 made sure that PSG won't play between the legs against Chelsea. Does it make it harder to progress in the Champions League as an English club because of the Premier League schedule?
Maybe we are more stronger and braver, quicker and faster than other leagues. And we show to other worlds how special we are. The French league should be jealous of us. it's what it is. I don't think
Pep Guardiola and to Pep in common and your team I want some de Benra yam Liverpool shall 3 yambo Liverpool team na baso go was for no week mu a almost Liverpool 2-1 Liverpool abati omo ho as a 3-1 and Rod Benson ebo first goal Mohamed Salah second goal and Curtis Jones at the third goal no and so at the bench 3 no and I do some de by yambo Liverpool ebo boko na baso o ma ya adwuma pa na Van Dijk after game no and ye din ko kakra highlight no and ye yi kwa goal no moha and Rabs akoda no so o compound game no na ora so de nyama so Mexico Van Dijk no I responded to and some see wiki womo and so league game Wolves etwo no bomb 2-1 and o ma kwatwo ma so 3-1 say I am very disappointed some match no na omugo mu wani masi omugo Liverpool fo nyina and so any masi no mom enwade na ese omuse na important win and esenka enra omanya anti omuda supporters no ene obi asem yebetie Van Dijk ewo enkoma odi atodwa ewo enra win awumunya ye awumuda qualify ewo the FA Cup mo ekoma no Van Dijk enkoma na yede ba yentie no na yentie enkoma kakra odi mai fu eboboko no report I mean second as a board no yesi oman catch and a slot they say league title ay over nisa ade ama yakane say Premier League no ade ama Liverpool to Premiership no dey one more count one more out of the league title na one more can say also say one new Premier League as a top 4 Liverpool eremu our top 4 to more priority 1 and so be room top 4 say the better sikasem and so anya bad and family Liverpool our Premiership no next season and o masa catch and they say FA Cup no room and that's all beje and I say the Champions League no and also room and that's all beje ntimi no a title as I say emu bako anya bad as a Liverpool a trophy cabinet no one more the trophy SM afi entiano aya sudie awomo and some ati ama manager na enra after say omu say no den some kakra de atudwa say 3 days ago team yi SO2-1 enra wabeto home as a 3-1 say ana feel no esiti wa ball ne mrantia no abaso ewo modem a we mu ebon enra emo say free ewo ye kan say enra gamer and obaso ya ni jesem edema Liverpool players and our supporters.
But every stat is exactly, of course, it's a perfect response when you look at the result. But every stat is exactly identical than 3 days ago. I think they were on 0.44 XG and they scored tonight. Their only chance they had, they scored 1. The positive thing is 3 days ago they only had 1 chance and scored twice. We struggled to create a lot of chances from a lot of ball possession we had in the first 50 minutes, but after scoring not a big chance, the shot of Robbo is not a big chance. Things open up a bit more for us. Of course, it's a perfect response when you look at the result.
Perfect response. No ayansema manager eri atudwa ye de unsema ba yenko Spain ye ni ko mama la porta na enche na kamni no nuama so ye kama pa omuguso a wo mu Barca stadium no omo guso ye nuama pa na reporter ba de la porta de atudwa se wone ene panifo mu ewo Vatican edi nkomo na ni nyina ne se omu di nkomo se be yankomenya yewura Pope awo no so Roman for so kase pa we say nankeja wano ababe giving a blessings kamni no so abompa ya de ama kamni wi ama trophies do anso ngatumi aba enti reporter ba no so guso wone representative to mo wo Vatican empanifo mu be Pope no wo ma din koma dwache senka wono anso emrana fe giving a blessings ama kamni stadium wo mo ebepie eno ayen koma free ho ate eba ate awonsam no ate eba Barca presidential race no Victor Font ayobia o race bi den I say obabe tu ene La Porta efra konya no so na wasem wateso La Porta nkofo tanachi womo ye campaign adema na bi Robert Lewandowski we player adema Barcelona what take your stance adaya what La Porta cheno so one de one ne ya dream because La Porta na de ne ba ye wonim obia eka Laporta unti se ne Laporta ko elections na se Lewandowski as water one the only problem bia enti on true support no emfa emano ono ne obia wonim no ono Victor Font no onim na wade ne support enso brani to wate ene Lewandowski asiye pa eno aye Victor Font enkoma wono edem ngaba Mark Bernal reporter ba ene se omo gamer womo ene be baw ebon na anwume Barca team no reporter na say one yellow card away from ene suspension La Liga num say onya yellow card ene anwume a ebe yes ontimi mo omo next game wombe bo against Sevilla fie enom ayetefu on the bench no ayenkoma ekoso de awonsam no de ebana Barca team no one Garcia metes ene wonu ebedam Garcia ebe wachre Kubalsi Gerard Martin nom anafe Balde Casado Mark wono ebebo anafe Mark Benaya mekana sem obejem Dani Olmo Lamine Yamal Lewandowski anafe Marcus Rashford omunyina no ensom ebetimi aye adwuma nanwumre de amatim Barca bra womo awese kwan bia so mo de bawo game ne beba so na be bawo for no womo so officially womo squad no Unite Simon nom ana ehwese ne womo ensom ebetimi awram anafe Padilla womo ensom ebebo o squad no ma na kinom omunyina woma womo ese nyame adom betimi abo game no kama de amatim ntuwe ana coach no yi starting 11 anwumre de amatim afana be bawo edon sam no enso edeba enma Madrid team no womu ensom ebo maden pa na Real Madrid omo mienu game no ya dio enra nemo stay na Madrid fosi forma enso aya adwuma emanuama ensom natimi akokama La Liga no ma bra omote Celta Vigo ebo mu ekamienu chuamani bogo edikan enu 11th minute and after Abrante Iglesias abateka on 25th minute and after Valverde ebo go 90+4 and one enya the winning goal no ede ema Madrid ebo boko no na highlight no ani yibi ensom edema na sabo na Madrid omode kwase the Valverde ball no say no woman say there was a foul before so ball no ensom tonetiama and the Celta Vigo for no woman japa unya picture no so ade to so ame ehwe say the nyama ensom no city na utumi say ball no enie ama Celta for the channel ball we dey say ka referee ensom no tumi ya bibi way and the Spanish retired referee Eduardo Iturralde Gonzalez ono anu omusan say ball we pa onu say no so ball we dey na a clear foul go na Valverde a question a clear foul before by Madrid player and team no say the new Messi kwa referee no and said I'm spotted in the game no on said the man for theatre woman and some kasa bowe no incident and ka referee no and some let me aje no aye tefuo at the Madrid last 4 games and I say last 4 games aka and sana and I say we no aye before international break the games way and Madrid on the Man City womu wia ombebo LT womu wia ombeko away to City ansa ana omabo in Madrid Atletico enti enye crowd o ball in the City Uria wabo LT eboboko no Uria wa South travel Ako City no asabe bo Atletico Madrid to a season no said ye be international break ni awuza de in the league table no aniama enso be se akobi ko Atletico and asa and Madrid derby ni adia emu enso be shede ama Madrid ansa an international break no enso ngaba so na very junior and wo misa City game no say and also a great team ana Asia na do kan say omu be he na omatimi a fight for the ball dominant and omu here say omu take na omu fighting for every ball against City there utalusu ball e ba adwen pa na do omu kan and as do kan say omu supporters no de bia omu pushi omu forward omu shout over Bernabeu omu ema ho difficult at the mount nti omu rely more on supporters no omu anamo me stronger our pitch no so enom ensama ne watem atuta avaro abeloa e de atuta wasen wa game no na enya bad cry a good game omu enya 3 points omu he manim se ne omu ebe continue na nuama enso etimi akoye na UEFA omu sanse Madrid wey a suspended partial stadium closure and omu ade ama Madrid team no na ni nyina no racist behavior so Madrid and Benfica wɔn game no wɔn kyerɛ sɛ ɛwɔ in the south stand hɔ yɛsɛ wɔn nso akoya wɔhwɛ ni wɔyɛ the Nazis salute sign ɛno ɛma UEFA fo kyerɛ sɛ etia wɔn mura nti report am ɛba ne so wɔn ka kyerɛ Madridfoɔ ɛsɛ ebi esi biem a wɔn ade ban nso ade bɛma wɔn ɛno ɛyɛ report free Madrid aso yɛ ɛdɛm ɛba ma mi Kenya wɔsɛ report ɛba ne sɛ ɛwɔ Riyadh Air ɛwɔ Metropolitano nyame adoma on 30th of July Kenya West Airbus Spain one ever bought in the so na bibia kana reporter ban some okay what time first time or buy no acho be 20 years ni afem and was be Spain abe adwuma na nyama so ya kama no Kenya West and ya tenen sempi adem emawa and ya semeto no later say banti nyame adwuma ye nyina ye hwe na nim ewo Metropolitano nyame adwuma 30th of July and be super performance no and be dem ewo Riyadh Air and no ewo Stadium Atletico wo mo stadium ana ne baba so a yatem nsem piete Alexander Soloff a player at the Atletico Madrid so also player of the month of February one no move 40 at the man so no and a player of the month no and you man so kama at the amane at latest nyina and so at the man no pen ewo FA Cup no Mansfield for no woman Arsenal 12-15 and a baso Rossam and Chelsea 5:45 Newcastle and Manchester City and so 8 p.m. and as game no ebetimi abaso fancy na abedafo emrem na afi yento aso ha Wontumi 101.3 FM Kumasi and afi digital and satellite nso ye so aye adwuma decoder na ye adwuma so Wontumi 101.3 FM and also Facebook and afi Wontumi TV live our YouTube nso egoso aye adwuma bedafo tenase na afi ya papemu ja on taking the seat and pay the amaye Mizaya ho ye de ho
the capolistic the capolastas
Mizaya
hey Saturday
yeah tough one no
next Saturday abani
of course abani aba
and the trivia there say what do holiday Friday no baby
na say the hard pa holiday no do say Saturday no to
ba so koje pa
and yes okodo
akwaje pa ne
pa run for your days over bedo 6 March no mo ye wi a say Friday mo ya Monday holiday na so mo nya za say first you so no
say normally for school students no and for
okay nya Ghana for nyina
area Ghana for
nyina na nya come achi
o come achi we a school for any teacher for na come achi
for machi bia no amehwe for machi adwuma for
machi we bi za wo come achi we man do go adwuma
to holiday bia no
na executive producer kwa wo for holiday chair executive producer man do go adwuma
but okay but first no dey na your school okay for the students that will come for students.
Okay. So I think say for this one no
69 years and Ghana Eddie and
yes Ghana did 69 years okay. Next year 70 hey
Ghana cool next year Ghana bako pension date in 60 okay pension that I deny atoso
I deny atoso
no teenage so
Ala football age ana.
Ghana.
It's
Yenteso.
Are you for the
59 na yenteso.
Share. Oriabusa Senate for the
sir.
Age.
That's your football age, working age.
What do you want what to tell so?
Well, you're running with your governor. Was it?
Friend of tough are they?
Otofo. Otofo they say will be our strong be our Ibiani.
Dabi.
Sir.
Nada there.
You do for tough they are there.
Otofo there.
Otofo. Na ka tia sia ka usu.
Oboa, menfin.
Otofo.
Oboa.
Na ha ho.
Menfin. Ono go ntiase. Oboa, ntiase.
Me no aka misu.
Oboa, menfin.
Otofo.
Otofo no.
Wanya de Capo.
Oboa menfin. Otofo ntiase. E boss, obi o ye boss.
Oboa.
Leso. Me how kra me ni se do CDT.
Otofo menfin.
Eju otofo.
Oboa menfin.
Maka jo sempe otofo.
Otofo na kokotako. Emu esadi de akobi afra so.
Oboa. Otofo de enya ibia.
Eju ya kokotako.
Me de you.
Hey, you're gives.
Mama cha ntadehene. Ntadehene na amu obu akwa.
Okay.
So but across Ghana you know baby my favorite joint na ye abu akwa tano so.
Oh, okay.
For the second successive week. Ntadehene e feature me.
Okay.
Guys ni nyina was so but I think there will be different times. But for now the Ntadehene e feature me every Saturday morning.
Okay.
I mean guys you know omo very very good. Yeah, we start up for no say o capital kakra wa start bibi na obi pushu. So Ntadehene a new fashion feature all town.
Okay.
Stories now we me started from first of all my interest Evra ho. Nasem on Arsenal.
Yeah.
Senior on Jean Pedro, the so more interest kakra ho. And Rano Oshaya abelo atminya 3.3 yeah. Celta me sure so kakra. And a Pep Guardiola so can be a fan team no say. So Wontumi and GBB about build a better team
next season. Yeah.
Oh, say last week I say me try. Okay, my man starting in common with Evra say he doesn't care how Arsenal will win. Say Omoba winning dirty. Say Omba winning day. All that he needs from Mikel Arteta and Arsenal say Omba winning Premier League, you know.
Yeah, buffet.
And yeah, buffet. Okay, some I'm say. In fact, every name no me penake can't be actually last week because no or ha. No me pena bonabaso rather because Ochi scores in Ferdinand Moni. Say Omunjai Michael Carrick na onye adwuma. Okay, say scores back say bibi na di caricature. This I can do all year there. It's a man for Cassie Bibi na Benjamin said bibi be able to answer the crow. But we keep saying say all we need to be. But let me stick to the context of he doesn't care if Arsenal be winning dirty, you know. Yeah, nipa deep football chair, your supporters, your fans, you know. Couple you had too much. Sometimes, you know, a phone you need a change your taste. You change your taste and that will be a first year just so no. Now you for your she view.
Okay.
Pep Guardiola at the area football you could do leveler. Or you neutral fan crown or shall now enjoy it. Be about Pep Abaso, pipa the 30 seconds rule.
Yeah.
Lusubona no more so. They defended by attacking so well. Created patterns of triangles. Dani Alves, Busquets, Messi, one triangle, no. Abidal, Puyol. Then the other left winger, Pedri or somebody, another triangle, no. You have Iniesta, Messi, Henry or Ibrahimovic, somebody in the final third, another triangle. Pep did everything to create a footballing empire. I mean, can I say? But at some point, you know, people were all trying to find out, say, the anti-type of football bed stop Pep Guardiola the antithesis of his system. It is a Jose best picture because I'm say Jose by contrast in the style of play no e baba be ha the Pep Guardiola
yeah
Jose style of play no it is how they apetisi and I say the gu enam bi ho what the make can say
yeah
and Pep so people loved even Jose style say need to be stop Pep because na Pep ma ball na 7 tan. Now I'm for say Mikel Arteta ma ball aye time by playing that at some point na Jose with me ball Kedira no about Pepe dey account in a 4-2-3-1 double pivot to Kedira na Pepe oba betwa mo hefa enye technical brilliance in about double pivot we say enye pass enye control enye ball retention eye a coin be fa so be stop opponent no Pepe ni Kedira ni o change obi o de Lasana Diarra neighbor because he had to find an antidote to whatever that guy was doing. In any case, why pa na so betimi aka no krese se Mikel Arteta ka se obiem abobo no pepa obetimi agi EPL no bi na obobo no better than Liverpool and Manchester City team we say. Whatever he does right now, the players in the crown no obobo am na akwa to omudim na asem no crown na more pathetic when they lost Thomas Partey. They've lost central control. As me this made the video be the ma Shadrach on Fatu TV so you can say ball possession, the beauty or the nucleus of the game no ejinfinfin ball no you born paper na Capo your mono right back in the hole, your mono left back in the hole. Now so be ni madwasa or sanwo edomenachi how one e ba no sahia no enye sa na de tie possession football you born at the center of the pitch. When I ask na di game ni jina no so possession football Capo paper your mono corner flag honmo your born center of the field e ho na the opponent in the free mo enti na say adoa e ye hwehwe animu e style of play aye yemani pie. So if you don't have the midfielders, the ball controllers, the ball more retaining ball at the mount, the good passes, technical players, I mean as the midfielders in one more at the get and go type. Zoom in the video number. You will see say the crucial area of the field no hona o lose ball no after even say Arsenal somebody replace Thomas Partey no Capo o lose ball no seamlessly na Arsenal aba under pressure. You see Mikel Arteta mo possession football. Let me tell you something. Possession football is a one chim an kosoro the obobo biaka Crystal Palace batan or the paper or the back or turn deep. Should be mending when about place Thomas Partey. A two remember possession Okrubeso. England, no, and easy say opponent back or turn actually no down some born fabra. What is Mendy? I don't know. So if the player who was brought in to replace one of the key premium members of the squad no, should be 6 hours year, then how do you then switch to possession? Obede Akobo Pepa Crystal Palace Wolves Pepa who are the creators? Who are the creators? You know, if a team wants to reset into the blocks, retreat into the shadows, Capo na pocket ne be get here, Bukayo Saka, Martin Odegaard or Eberechi or many creators na. How many chances have they created so far ever since on by? So my point is a queer in any uninse Mikel Arteta crown or back for your style of play winner obo. How many years has he been there? What was the style of play winner oba? Communion did that.
Sure.
You know, same way say we oba. I think 2019. Ever seen me? Say ball said dear your person cast basa. I don't know oba. He's been finding a way to win beautifully. I don't know the other second you know. And I hear the payato say oh they also run and come say near you draw duane do so sisoro because he said that could duane bebu naba. Now he wants to find a way and go the hard way. We are also here complaining. Now opesa oti de woye na se Pep Guardiola say was saying next year wanje bibi this year or Baba be create a different team altogether. The person catcher say he's damned the beautiful football na you say Pep the obo Pep no and synced the football no with the English football rhythm and wakofa Antoine Semenyo no obo Pep. It is one fine bibi dia then quickly obeko back to originality. Pep Guardiola some person can no me many ever actually Arteta I find when you're more dirtier no find we bibi mfa mo. All right, but the end we see. Leandro Senior say Jean Pedro is in the category of Erling Haaland and then Mbappe. Maybe okasa in the category my interest kakra. Is entry for ya na ye confine some ba. Capo ya na hadwene. Oh, no said ya me person me tie ase in a more clearer way na make no nya de o kan ye o say category no adia hala na agege ne bi na we agege adia Mbappe agege bi na we agege na so me sure say nya category of achievements and work mo but the technical category of a center forward
the ball ne bono yeah
born nkwa o suro say Liam suro so beka say we ni Mbappe pe e wa bra 18 years no lady France e agent the World Cup near the to Pele ho as one of the youngest ever players award the World Cup no in the his teens Liam Rosina him sa record no osaso him say he's one of the players at the Messi share world boss successive finals. No, Mbappe has another level.
Yeah.
Then talk of Haaland. Waji Premier League top scorer twice. 22-23, 23-24 season, you know. Waji twice. And Waji Champions League. Treble season, you know. He was so key for Man City. So I am sure say said your Waji Atumo, any achievement and the worker. But technically and the main can be say. What do you say? Say about technically and the main ni coach in the junior. Yeah, because we know you fight Mbappe first. Offer Mbappe were very effective outside the box. Onyan box you know. Otimi free so no ba as a wide number 9. Te say kase tete number 11 no. O free benkuma from her ba. Ahona Mbappe on man or the original center forward because of technical flexibility or versatile. Obone na me anu otimi touch otimi move in the close spaces otimi move 1-2 shoot me. He loves the combination of free line so TSM1. And that is Mbappe should go be the TR Poland or World Cup 2022. That goal no Jean Pedro at that time no me do level way.
Okay.
Ne start ni be the movement everything of our ball no be nkuma fa so no akati inside. No the one akoshe roof. Jean Pedro. Now in the box what is Haaland and it is copied in the last hat-trick and I said the first ever hat-trick on Yari Chelsea no. Yeah. Or all 3 goals in the area. That is the typical definition of Haaland. A box fox. And the coach the person say, oh, me striker here or outside the area. Utimi the Mbappe me
inside so.
Yeah, o ma me chance in your clean crana me timi clean. Et me wash. And now ball no kuto inside. Now watch the goal now the take no. Na me kan say me san fa ho. The goal now the equalize. E ma o bad game, o mo the bad game no. It had everything. This is the goal.
Yeah.
This is the goal. It has reaction speed. You can say reaction speed. Ball in the ball no speed in what small ball you need to match up the ball's speed.
Yeah.
And you can say reaction speed. So Jean Pedro. Now first of all, on moving from DM in chain, DM ne Amadou Nana. Shebono, Shadrack and Tono Boase Kakra, Okoi. Amadou Nana and Che Hono movie and watch him. Before the boy switch, Amadou Onana left.
Yeah.
Amadou Nana in ADM no. And penetrating in between the 2 center backs. So the key members of the back line and that triangle no drum on terminal. Capo, can you see that?
Yeah.
And now he has to match up with the ball speed and you can say reaction speed, you know. So the coach, you know what I say, ordinary Haaland, no for Haaland Besha. What's the goals of Haaland Shani? Haaland should go on in the can or should go on a certain one bay. These are goals are a natural poacher's goal. And the coach is talking about this. First of all, watch the movement. Also, the DM let you, but DM not that. But how he also got the 2 center backs into the picture now. I had a sort in the coach and I say, and this is quality movement.
Go 1v3.
And then you watch the second.
Oh yes,
1v3.
And San will be film.
Reaction speed, timing is everything here. So the coach, you know, I can't say fan hosa now. We a player when he all the free goals in your box room.
Okay.
All the free goals in your box room area. And we know Jean Pedro say, and yet even the strength, they need you free outside the area. No,
yeah.
And I hope say, Abasobono, say, you see that goal?
Sure.
You see that goal? Denken a very difficult skill. Denken a very, very difficult skill. Although I know Eshabon Aseno.
Yeah.
A very difficult couple. You move back to me, yes, I did back crucial times because this is Emilia No Martinez, goalkeeper Raja World Cup. And if you come up 1-on-1 with him, be another conform, but conform one. Your knowledge of the goalkeeper should tell you something. A form. Keeper away, you're one of the best goalkeepers I'm fan form if you know him. Penalty, you know the number keeper with Martinez. No couple 1-on-1, you know
this. Oh, yeah, for sure.
said what the ball ash angle and the theater second obey you and when we go say this guy
101 ko bottle tree
what down for no
Kolomo and boko ko to
this guy in the night
brutal
even we are stretching now yes I know the colony left no
or banging sanum in and say yeah
and he had to drink the goalkeeper
yeah.
No, João Pedro. And that's the coach define hono. You know, many coach in the yard. Now he has to follow. This is it.
Yeah.
Will you be lectures all by Juma Shadrach? The same stretch.
Yeah.
He had to drink the guy because Column won the other one in so.
Yeah.
Watch the two scenes. The back because goalkeeper is
yeah. So that okay. Tibo Halan Mbappe nom. And be a Pedro's uncle for 3 in the bitimi a shebowi. Well, when you play with a column when you are over battle at one, we now back we uncle bottle to me.
Capo
intelligent.
So, her series of partners now was you know, 101 and the night lieutenant dear, he is always going for that lieutenant. Then Zhao said, no, this way, no, this way. I would have to go. It was beautiful. Coach na semna wo kano any kwan say o ma coach no ensesi form because we know there e hon popoye e te say aka say ye pay ye kra na ye tie brobra na e be so brobra e hon popoye he has to grow and achieve in that same frame na coach no and you know at no and I agree with Liam Rosinia Capo me nim mebre no there
say we kanya ba kwa besa kana mama ko itilimra
okay say ya no huru
say derby no ho echna
ho
Milan enye easy
Capo
enye easy cry
and then bibi o
enye easy
na me ba ha dem who say Messiah pe Syria nti ya na me pese stories no ko ho aya na ya na pese me enjoy no whilst he flows through
sure tono fa Syria and Spain ka
Messiah de minim so dru
over fa ona
Italy ho be badia
over TS Spain ya ho kakra
na friend to for
o say ene mi wi amechi mama o me true why mi wi amechi on pen one sem dey
to for ya so bi e kodwa atoma na no wasa konya sem e kodwa atoma na no wasa konya sem sana tough
we feel why o pass mama ma we feel
this is so kura
men feel
we say obezo is chemist
obezo ye bibi on trim o fan wa dwen wo de ba studio a
so one ye betina ba
wa dwen wo trim na de ba
let's say unu apese one ye tena
o za de no
obezo one ye dredre ho
men feel
yesu ye ne betina kru mu ase pa na yesu actually say the city unu na no amafo na say say
Tofo you be afufu bia no wiase bia se boka kusunji asakofo asem bia
share bia we bossu no feel we am is as of so tiase you now
me ko what you krum kunsu na ohini invite me na krura o fanche mixia na no paper o temi nkache na boy no commentary no ni dino e Capi the Supremo.
Oh, okay.
Now only the dino. Oh no. And I know.
Capi.
Yeah, Capi.
Okay.
And now the Capo. Them nimbi we are young because the boy is flow so wa.
I don't know the Capo pana.
And yeah, video we are. Let me hope for the referee from Messi Okruma. From Lamine nama. Gonna Premier League players will be from Lamine.
Capo. There's a new team debate. My some new team debate. Maybe I text them. I'm trying to do that. Could you find this for UK? I'm trying to do this for UK.
What's it?
Could you find this guy also tough for a man before? Don't go mine.
I told you, man.
As all there, I saw the other day. Capo on myself. It's a film I say need to find me do for. Hey, need to try me. Hey, so on myself.
Me sure they say tough for crying. Come on, one thing. Why Capo?
No feel one thing.
Let's say that me am before.
Headmaster.
We create problems.
Headmaster. Hey, no students ya tuno. Headmaster.
That's on it, so.
the France Nyamisrao.
Ntuju amudi chen.
France Nyamisrao pa. France wa bochire timi ya chira sebu ese. France Manchester be weekend. Hey, weekend is man you can match.
More resting.
11 days.
More resting. More resting.
France me da se pa me enche na rope. But Capo, interestingly, your big games in na near the Friday Super 8 no.
Yeah, for sure.
Itiano watewaso no what team. I think interestingly, there are tough games I be heard Nyame Adoma this weekend in the Spanish La Liga, then in the Italian Serie A. England so be my the FA Cup kakra. And now by America to me winning the game by 4-1. The Bundesliga I've always said is far and gone.
Okay.
The only opportunity for Borussia Dortmund to have closed the gap was some game no money by America boy. You know? They were that close.
Yeah.
They were. And I want to make an opportunity of it.
Yeah.
They'll be traveling to play Cologne. That is another game to talk all about. And I know RB Leipzig will be playing at home to Augsburg. Then fast forward, the Ababa Yenima Babeshe, Bibi Kakrebi. And now Paris Saint-Germain lose by 3 goals to
Monaco, yeah.
I think this season, no teams no more person more French Liga. So one team in a few way, I mean, there be a moment to because this is the most inconsistent Paris Saint-Germain team I've seen in the last 2 to 3 years.
For sure.
Too inconsistent. Inconsistent too much. Then I mean they can't one you went to us answer say teams no more Champions League games but during Tuesday, Wednesday no. You careful kakra for quite to kakra.
Okay.
So we go fix ma.
Yeah.
But prevention is better than cure.
Yeah.
It if akwan day. Eto kakra.
Okay.
Ubo window kitu bi.
Eto.
But I think say whatever happened with Paris Saint-Germain and run game, remember Italy there so. Ama, me who a lot of comments on social media say, "Hey, we dey being my Chelsea you." Chelsea beku Paris Saint-Germain. Yeah, na Capo abo Friday. O ba bonne.
Yeah.
Ana league no betime ja tumbe 2 weeks, 3 weeks. O betime asa be bona dey asa be.
Yeah.
That is the French Liga. Now where? O betime ja tuma na so betime ja Liga too.
Sure.
But I think where it also helps Chelsea near say almost about Wrexham. Wrexham so the Chelsea beat me the Ghana to get things more. Then I'll be very surprised if you went to me and share.
Oh no,
but I think for Monaco, come and share Paris Saint-Germain and Kenya. The last 3 or 4 games they've played, Paris Saint-Germain has shown the almost including the Champions League game.
Yeah.
Where Monaco did can share first 2 goals, my Paris Saint-Germain sabe the indictment na a dormoso ne kasabebrebe na a dormoso they needed to prove a point. And yesterday was one particular instance they needed to make their voice known. And I think for Paris Saint-Germain, Obibeka say players Ben Omudi Omusi Akain, there was no quality in the setup. No. Paris Saint-Germain started with Safanov, Akraf Hakimi, Zabani, Pachu, Nuno Mendes, Zaire Emery, there was Vitinha. There was Barcelona could have Mokofa and buy Drew Fernandez. And on board Desire Due, on board Bacola, and on board Kivicha Karaskelia. Osman Dembele Munina Mogim we see by Wufi bench by Osman Dembele be Kivicha Karaskelia, then Lee Kan be Drew, Mayulu Ebe Due, then there was to lose games as a stance in the French League and relax. More the luxury. Because Capo so check the French League any the fixtures never Barcelona ni port toss on 53 points now. I'll see Lons both here to Mets. I'll see Lons push on about 56.
Exactly. I have 1 point.
Paris Saint-Germain will feel relaxed looking at some of these things and on praying will be I think you about 25 matches. League you about 34 matches. Akabe 9 games. Capo. They have the luxury.
I got this opportunity.
Open teams are more the luxury to Paris Saint-Germain can afford to lose the league. And how more?
Okay.
No, in the last 4 years, we'll be at the league aside from Paris Saint-Germain. No, if they should lose the league, we be normal. They want to establish themselves and put themselves in the conversations of the Champions League. You see? Qatar, my main yenis uncle we say the Gulf area, any Arab for no. Our main motion on what about football, number 1 was to make sure say they will have a voice. Every European football and worldwide football.
Okay.
Omunim say, so I didn't know more times can man from Africa say Africa about a top football club ABCD. near the Omaba board the CAF Champions League. Alali were if Egypt and Ameboa. They could have decided, so okay, if you cut a golf for an Ameboa Newton, you better Alali. Near the Alali Akobo CAF Champions League, near Kwako GDSU Monaso, and Ameboa.
Sure.
They could have opted, say, okay, let's go and buy Zamalek. They could have opted, say, okay, you're Libya, or Honan Tokwasi, and maybe a Kem. Agadafi Yokuno, Kronin Sinida de Mubium. It's Yanko Benghazi when you go for Alali Benghazi.
Yeah.
Bomusi Debi. Now let's go to Europe. And Europe too, baby, or Moko clubs. No, they are not going to the likes of Norway. Uncle baby to say be a Netherlands. And a Netherlands league, you know, money quality players. But he also says, okay, you perceive the top leagues. First one, you remember England, UAE, Abu Dhabi for Nababefa. Saudi for the Newcastle better. Let's not forget that even Chelsea ownership, no, Saudi for who Kakra and that Todboli Egbali, the consortium. And Sana fast forward, yes, no, Yabakofa PSG so Juma. And Qatar, they wanted even a club in England, but they did not get. Or maybe pair Manchester United, the San no kid on it is because they want to have a voice in the world football, and they understand the politics of football. Any how our humanitarian grounds efforts anyoma we say be the two acquire more. The football katanyoma bebre so. Before Saudi Arabia came to Newcastle United, there was the talk of Jamal Khashoggi. Jamal Khashoggi, a former journalist, was free. And the issue ko PM or take you baby or quiet stories be no ko share baby ko ku na obi ehunu baby a Jamal Khashoggi ye ku ni fire. By Saudi Arabia for na soma ye no ene ko dis adwuma no ene yo mukuta club in England. So whenever you talk about Saudi Arabia and Newcastle United, you talk about the football, you talk about the performances, you talk about the amount of money they've invested, and you forget about Jamal Khashoggi. Almost a moon penny pa. Omako hosting World Cup. Now there's Paris Saint-Germain. Only French League, and you haven't done anything exceptional in Europe. But last season, everyone that spoke about the World Cup, Obi Okan wants NBA or Mokase Nipa World Cup. You real Argentina, Jane, one so be Casaso be Tamano Musi stadiums in order. Before the World Cup, you know, man can't send me back at town. But Argentina, Jiri, dear BMSC. Oh, yeah, carry. Nanu ya Nipa or no the club and then Nasser Kalafi. Who could you for some money position?
Yeah.
Obi a free Asia, Middle East. Your money position. Obi akasa about PSG, nobody even talks about what happened in Qatar. Obi ase Paris Saint-Germain akwaje treble or the Champions League. Capo. The conversation around Paris Saint-Germain, the results they are having in the French Liga, it doesn't really matter to them that what they want to achieve in the Champions League because they want to have a voice. Oji awaje say 2. In the French League, 2 teams in the Champions League. Olympique Marseille. 92-93. And Paris Saint-Germain 24-25. Osaji bioma ibebo ni din se ona na agi ni nyina ho.
Sure.
Yeah. And among penetrating into the French market alone, if they are able to win the second Champions League, trust you me, other countries will have to avail themselves and force them to come into the picture and come and invest, including the Spanish La Liga.
So more share no more than the league is a league in your priority.
Capo na players or the league in here.
European football now is
Luis Enrique Nankasa Krani CV no Krano Pese Mupida. Wajid the treble with Barcelona, wajid the Champions League and Amboa, or the Paris Saint-Germain, but imagine so you imagine the 2. There is a lot of at stake when it comes to that.
Go for you being part of the big boys as a hand or show ye.
Last season, you know. I'm pick from during this particular time now. I'm on the G League, the J Champions League in the South, the J. I'm Coupe de France, no. But for my film,
okay,
there is no opportunity for a treble. Then for the Champions League, a baby penny was in ya.
No meet me as
and Luis Enrique Nusumi said he wants a way out of Paris Saint-Germain. Opposite free PSG. Sana me huno. Because Kobe extended contract now quite extended at Hada.
Okay.
Sisi Olusu League, no Olusu Champions League, now there is nothing to fight for. Ebi ane ni benya kasa ka krem no akacho so no anamebwa.
Yeah.
Wontumi achieve target. Oje Champions League no so obetimi ni league no obetimi dey make case say dey mo pen me dey ayde.
Dey
amamo wie me ko. So there are a lot of things to think about when it comes to their investment
the coaches, their performances, and how they can maintain their momentum.
Okay.
Now I heard be Olympic Marseille, that will league table Olympic Marseille. They were also third or 12 points. A couple.
I say the empha.
I see lost moon now born home.
Yeah, more chance of doing something.
Omumium. Because Arsenal this weekend Beshe mess. And it is one game may become a Super 8 and two bet macro Arsenal 2 up.
Okay.
And a bet will introduce you 2 up.
Oh, okay.
And a 1 up.
And
the coach say Guasi and a bill so we bet will introduce you 1 up. 2 up. 1 up na say training in ane say Capo. See a bomb match na team now fan and they say be I'll see loans my man 1 up or share first go I'll bet Neddy.
Udi can share first go.
The answer will lead the opponent by 1 goal say. Team defend 1 up. The Yanis will lead the opponent no.
Asa
by 1 goal.
So lose to cry on found.
You fan say a starting game now I'll see loans I share 1-0. Eddie upon lose 2-1.
Well, the way we know.
What the way we know there.
Hey.
The Yanni said, lead an opponent by 1 goal. Then the 2 up na room that are automatic. The also lead an opponent by 2 goals. It's better to say no. Ofa team now who try now 1 up now what tomorrow. A bit to say for example, Arsenal's game are making CCA. Arsenal's name Mets. I would advise you to go for 1 up in this game.
Okay.
What confidence I'll go for 2 up.
Okay.
1 up or share Mets 1-0 pay.
At all.
Mets per 3 days.
Only problem.
How?
Okay.
Team the Arsenal the amount. Then you look at the Bundesliga. The same thing that is happening in the French Liga is the same thing that is happening in the Bundesliga. For the Bundesliga, there, Bayern Munich are in a comfortable position. Why on any about Champions League be and now would you do some say because Bayern Munich now will be shiano. Really motivated to make sure they will make a mark in the Champions League. The last time Bayern Munich won the UEFA Champions League was in the COVID time, 2019-2020 season. And Bayern Munich edged the UEFA Champions League. Kingsley Coman, the final against Paris Saint-Germain. The only goal of that game. And on they share, they believe that they have enough quality and men in the last few years to have even dominated the Champions League. Capo, I don't know because of offer player for player. I think Bayern Munich quality pa. Manuel Neuer, Upamecano, Conrad Lima, Jonathan Tah, Pavlovic, Joshua Kimmich, Leon Goretzka, Jamal Musiala, Harry Kane. Literally the best striker in the whole wide world. Only Erling Haaland nepre.
Sure.
Luis Diaz. For Michael Olise. But you look at their setup, but the spine of the team carries world-class players. Manuel Neuer world class. Upamecano Ndru world class. But top quality player. Jonathan Tah Ndru world class. But top quality player. Joshua Kimmich world class. Jamal Musiala, Onyandu world class because they play hard but quality top quality. Luis Diaz top quality. Harry Kane world class. Olise Onyandu world class by high quality, top quality. These players no come in Aboma. They should be able to compete for the Champions League and win it. Vincent Kompany wants to make a history for himself. Capo, when was the last time you saw a black-skinned coach win the UEFA Champions League? Not to even talk about Germany that doesn't even accept Sanyoman Kitikiti way. And I say, I'm a Jatum. I'm more racist in Yoman Kitikiti. 101.3. Bayern Munich LED table by 66 points. The Otosho second place here, Dortmund 52. Osakra no 55, 11 points. Bayern Munich down one day. What that?
Also, the more fupa.
But Dortmund will need to keep up the pace to feed themselves in next season's UEFA Champions League. Because only Hoffenheim no 46 points, meaning the points gap between Borussia Dortmund and Hoffenheim is 6 points. Then there's RB Leipzig on 44. Then Stuttgart on also 46. So for Dortmund, they will need to do a lot to beat Cologne. Nyame Adoma and to establish themselves into the discussion of the top 4. Against Cologne, in the last 5 games between Borussia Dortmund and Capo Yansha results in the Yepani.
Okay.
For Cologne, in their last 5 games, it has been a near flamboyant in Fama Omo. A loss against Osbeck, a draw against Hoffenheim, a loss against Stuttgart, a loss against RB Leipzig, and almost share Wolfsburg by 1-0. For Borussia Dortmund, 4-0 against Mainz, 2-0 against Atalanta. Omone Leipzig go 2-2, Atalanta ko show mo 4-1. Then Bayern Munich be show mo 3-2. They've lost back-to-back games and they remain winless in the last 3 games. Very difficult task for Borussia Dortmund. But the last 5 games between the two, 1-0 Dortmund, 4-0 Dortmund, 1-0 Dortmund, 6-1 Dortmund, 3-2 Cologne. 4 out of 5 wins for Borussia Dortmund against Cologne. This is one game I make catch say Dortmund to win either half, and a Dortmund 1 up.
Okay.
Against FC Cologne. Then quickly, Yansha de Ebika Krebi. Over the FA Cup games never Basono. I mean Chebebri. Chelsea Besha Wrexham. Chelsea winning over 1.5. Minister said you want to be treated.
Okay.
Then Liverpool shany game and they've qualified to the next round.
Yeah.
Arsenal Besha Macclesfield. On the first half win. Okay. Then there's Newcastle United and Manchester City. Omashia we can one 3rd time this season. First one City are finding a way. Second one City are finding a way. Then the 3rd one you bobo. Let's not forget that the EFL Cup on Newcastle City Bobby.
Yeah.
Newcastle performance no musi DT at Manchester United will give them a lot of confidence against this City team. City were Champions League bo. Nyame aduma midweek. One win ebo. One Real Madrid. Does City have the luxury to bench players against Newcastle United? Capo Edding. Edding. One Madrid so you can't afford to risk it because Kylian Mbappe no Odido. Odido ni we ni plan so improve it.
I think
that this is a game I'm making for both teams to score.
Okay.
City Newcastle. Main stress also. But the 2 leagues and the main stress also pay the Spanish La Liga. And then
Italian Serie A.
The Italian Serie A. The time makers the main stress with the 2 leagues in the Sunday. Now on the league table, Real Madrid a share now day. Real Madrid about 63 points, Barcelona with 64 with the game in hand and number with Bilbao. Now for Real Madrid, it is interesting to understand that yesterday they needed a win at all costs. They needed to find a way. At this point of this season, it's not all about whatever Alonso or Abelua did or be able to, but it's about big boys and they stepping up to give them the results. And then what Federico Valverde did it at the end of the day. Musa Adagula in a film no Jaka Krano Kasaka Bebre. You see, maybe a Jununu constituency. Tamana Alonso won our constituency. Ubeja. But the pressure on Real Madrid is to start delivering results. And what was Vigo Akofa results are a massive results.
Okay.
Couple less more be another. That is a very good result for Real Madrid. And I think for them, with the kind of quality of modernity against Vigo, Capo, this is a team as on your mobile or break a crack. Vigo on your mobile or break a crapper. Before we share Real Madrid, no more 5 games will be to me share homo. No Vigo, any Espanyol about 2-2. No more Kosha Payok by 2-1. No more Mayoka by 2-0. No more Kosha Payok, and no matter if you Payok by 1-0. And no more Kosha Girona by 2-1. So form wise, before they met Real Madrid, they were a better team. First reason why the results from Real Madrid and Real Madrid. Then you look at Real Madrid in that particular same period. In their last 5 games before they met Celta Vigo, Capo, normally you shoot 2 out of the last 5 games. Nanuni Yasha de Kakra. No Matimia Costa Valencia 2-0. No Masha Real Sociedad 4-1. No more Benfica 1-0. They lost 2-1 to Osasuna. Won 2-1 against Benfica and lost 1-0 against Ateve. The same zone I didn't come up. Trameni go the Kabeme the park among Fambra. New, Yashadi Kakrebi. Trameni come on and anu ye no. Is the same zone Trameni Eddie Cambo first shot in the freeness I go we say beam. It is better for Real Madrid to start feeding him in that particular zones. Yeah, you beat France in England.
Yeah.
Baby on your ball no boshe. Nancy was it Benfica and Ameboa? Baby Otina was also board the same board to net. Then you look at this goal. In his zone.
The Johnson,
no. So I think Real Madrid are beginning to realize they say also move feeding in that particular regard. But this is a Celta Vigo team and no 5 games unbeaten, proud to meet in Real Madrid.
Okay.
Thibaut Courtois, fantastic yesterday, Capo. I've always said he's the GOAT of goalkeepers. There's Manuel Neuer. But we Manuel Neuer need the tone chair for legendary status now. Now cemented as Manuel Neuer who play can you got an chair Courtois neighbor.
Okay.
No
doubt here.
The Manuel Neuer the chair Courtois and his ability to involve himself in build up.
Okay.
Build up. Any Bonankasa. Courtois a good shot saver. Good goalkeeper, reflexes top notch. But only involving himself in play, no.
Eddie.
But Manuel Neuer no, or you so many area. Baby, hobby couple. Baby, Manuel Neuer hobby. Otimi bo. Otimi says. Otimi che. 1v1 or if you maybe can cast a free kick better or crown mobile be the amount. So he's your all-round goalkeeper. On only role in level no. Otimi fit into every different dimension of a goalkeeper's role in a team. Coach or possession football bet him fit in. Vavadi no, also Johnson no, also Pia. Honestly, the better net see. But for Thibaut Courtois, proper shot stopper. Now look at the saves he did in the game. Capo.
Fantastic.
Good results for Real Madrid by winning the game by 2-1. Now Barcelona will be going to Bilbao. A tough game. Now Capo, between the two sides and the results are expected different from Barcelona. Obetimi the more probable starting lineups in the two screens. I'm Shadak media sendo. Now, yen discuss here the big about the two teams in the baby to miss results in the betimi free about. But it is important to understand two teams in our form. In the last 5 games for Atletico Bilbao, 1-0 loss against Sociedad, 2-1 win against Oviedo, 2-1 win against Elche. Then Omone Rayo Vallecano ebo 1-1. Then they lost 1-0 to Sociedad. Then fast forward for Barcelona. In their last 5 games, 4-0 loss against Atletico Madrid, 2-1 loss against Girona, but almost 11-3-0, almost Villarreal 4-1, and almost Atletico Madrid by 3-0. But on the league table, what check form of these two teams and their home records and their away records and any couple. The best home record in the league, Nipe Kutani FC Barcelona. Bilbao was also 7th. Out of possible 39 points, Bilbao will team accumulated 23. They've lost 16 solid points. But Odomo to 2 FC Barcelona. Barcelona in the league had the second best away side. Capo. Out of 39 points, in the Barcelona Etimia accumulated 25 points. Barcelona said 30 goals were away, conceded 20. 10 goals difference. Meaning Barcelona need to go away now. Capo, Wontumi nka se onhye goal. Obese. Ama mushe goals ni so mushe goals ni bebre. The last 5 games between the two sides, Barcelona win 5-0, Barcelona win 4-0, Barcelona win 3-0, Barcelona win 2-0, Barcelona win 2-1. Barca saw a very crunch Champions League game to play against Newcastle United, who are also playing Manchester City. But just like I said, Newcastle United need City, can't afford to rest players. And the same thing with Barcelona. But the big issue for Barcelona, I mentioned in any essay, on the defense, you school the pra. Ball is where pra. A children there because already we want to crown Barca concede. It's probably lineup in the screen shares is Garcia 2. Kubasi ne Araujo 4 and 5. Gerard Martin 3. By Capo, you could give me part in Dendia Ukoshia Inaki Williams, Gomez, Gurizeta Mo. Any sanse mono, Minijitu be a pass. Komuma cancel starting game we see. No more stretching, no more pressure, Moduana. Pressure, giddy. Gerard Martin, M1 left back. Araujo M1 center back. Kubasi because he is a winning team. That was a splendid performance from Araujo and Kubasi against Atletico de Madrid. Since so by and after what is so bien and one sama kebim. And Araujo asa Debbie or okay. Key to this particular game, Barcelona pa mu game ni ntem no mo soro so ntem no mo changes ne mra no mo bo mo for Newcastle United. Maybe they can expect say Garcia will be in the middle of the pack alongside Pedri and Dani Olmo. Then Jacques Cancelo memboni 2. Ubenya Rafinha, Lewandowski, Lamine Yamal. Almost starting game no on a fast note.
Okay.
First ball 20 minutes. First ball 30 minutes. Barcelona crumple lead by 1-0 and at 2-0. No more the call half time bar. Timba kwa Wontumi nyini di La Liga ni mkrano. Bilbao kan bi. Laporte, Berikeshi, Inaki, Sanse, Gomez, Gurizeta, Zaragiza, Galareta, Capo. Ahwodeni ntimi basafo no. Ahwodeni ntimi basafo no. It was
Barcelona
say Betway. Kobasa 1 up.
Okay.
Safe. And we are safe. Risky. Ubetima Kobasa over 1.5.
Okay.
Basa over 1.5. Basa goals obeshe ni game we see muno. Anya kura no obeshe 2 goals. Okay. In this game. Atletico Madrid they both feed the Real Sociedad. Also, Omumi and Nuna besa about the final of the Copa del Rey. Atletico Madrid.
Yeah.
Only Real Sociedad. Omumi and Nuna besa about the Copa del Rey final.
Say Shawahi.
Almost say Shawahi. But Capo, Adiba ko Atletico Madrid enya over. Sociedad pioneers are difficult to Sociedad besha Atletico Madrid ofie. The last game somabo 1-1. 4-0 for Atletico Madrid. 1-1. 2-0 for Atletico Madrid. 2-1 for Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid 1 up. Menche was a game no. Now Yamra Italy made in Como.
Yeah.
Inter Milan AC Milan, Derby della Madonnina. The history, the geographical location of these two teams, the quality these two teams are dying, you know. But actually, say it is one of the historical moments you can ever watch in world football. Now the catcher said the classic and so fast one baby and the quality ni daddy. Well, we hear baby Abeka I didn't hear any boy here, and I think you are going to experience the same thing when it comes to these particular games. Right? The probable lineups between the two, in terms of Inter Milan and AC Milan, are very interesting. Couple. Let me say three back and the Oko Italians here, no munum didi because Obia ya the three back Ruben Amorim be survive opa.
Yeah.
Obe survive Syria opa because three back no consistent. In a weekend where teams are going into fixtures, making sure somebody may close the gap. Inter Milan leading league table by 10 points. International as a Champions League, you know, Buddha Glimpse the be in the free mo. Because what league in 10 points are weekend Robert Madge Lucy.
Yeah.
You could find a way and manage as to how I bet the league, you know. But in the context of this whole setup and everything we are discussing here, these are two teams who have lost certain identities, or let me say exchanged identities, brothers who are divided by its culture and how I edit team no. Its culture and how I edit team no. Capo or mubi onuni na baby omujina say AC Milan team na man frafo wo mu doso eche kroma. Inter Milan su kroma doso chairman frafo. Bakabaku international. Bakusi Ukraine dia. Nemom Interfront in recent years have been able to establish themselves among the elites in terms of who wins the Serie A. But for 10 points, Capo, Sierra Two Seniania, Napoli winning a game no about 56. That means 11 points between Ono and Inter Milan.
Yeah.
For AC Milan, if they should win this game, almost the points gap never about 7. Almost about 7
points, yeah.
Now another story about this game is that an experienced coach versus a coach on another team in Christian Kivwa on a young Allegri Capo League no only Bobapa. The last manager on only born nobody making sure say AC Milan could be able to win the league. Capo Obia maybe Stefano Pioli so by EBGB the Mahomo. But I think Allegri set a certain tone for AC Milan, which is a net Pasumana Akono. It is a big game for AC Milan, more than a big game for Inter Milan. But in context, Inter Milan will be looking forward to get a result out of this game because of the last 5 games the SCA. Capo Yansha de Bikakra between the two of them in the last 5 games. Then you have starting lineups, key battles I ever anymore. Then Mabusa Munsembia Mia Kakra. The last 5 games from Abo, AC Milan 1-0, AC Milan 3-0, 1-1, 1-1, AC Milan 3-2. The last 5 games between the two sides, AC AC Milan team abɔ no mo dey win mu 3 mienu and in a draw. Capo. Inter Milan is finding it difficult to exert the authority on this particular kind of fixture, especially whenever they go into this fixture, they are the favorite. I think for the first time in history, this might say Inter Milan at the top of the league table, no, AC Milan goes into this competition or goes into this game as the favorite. Due to almost form results over Inter Milan in the last few games. Inter Milan, Messi Lautaro Martinez, but for Young Bisek, Manuel Akanji, Bastoni, Di Marco, Hakan Çalhanoğlu, Zielinski, Barella, Luis Enrique, Esposito, and Marcus Thuram against another three-back, Fikayo Tomori, De Winter, Pavlovic, Fofana, Modric, Rabiot, Estupinian, Salimekes, Pulisic, and Rafael Leao. The midfield three for these two teams. The one action in the wing backs and also action in the then the goalkeepers will be at work. Capo. The reason why I'm using the goalkeepers here is these two teams will create a lot of chances. Mike Mignon, you're not a Debbie de la Madonnina watching penalties a hold. Yansome crucial encounters for Inter Milan against other sides. Quality goalkeeper experience. Yeah. He needs to be on top of his game. But Mike Mignon has always stood tall. But Capo, show me new midfield, no over for wine. Hakan Çalhanoğlu, Zielinski, Barella against Adrien Rabiot, Modric, Fofana. Yenin komo we kakra. In every midfield, you need your perfect balance. What is your perfect balance? In Italian, they call something central campista. They call something mezzala. And at the same time, more the register. But in football, moving to different sides and different roles and being upgraded, time in, time out. I think we had the two teams now. Obia or the man midfield balancing it. It's all about who is going to exert or only influence over the other. Because you look at Obiti Fofana, he gives you a level of physical presence, drive, and a passing range. Physical presence, drive, and a passing range. The reason why Sadio Mane said, no one deeper. So Kutaba Eddie so bet me dispose as me piano the water baby. I'm a driving here, so offer no bet me the bonnet to me car 20 years, 30 years. Now to me, you're born in 5 in him. Then a good passing range because of Pajanity, a line breaking passes to Betty Mabobi. There's a Luka Modric, the silent killer, the one with the vision. It will only balance or the brain similar with 51 years. Somebody could pass a room, and he brings a level of calmness and silence control in that particular middle of the pack. Leadership by example, okay. 40 years, top game, experience, Adrien Rabiot, physical level, drive. Box to box, quality say Obetime moving from one end of the box to the other end of the box. Good in area doors. See about corner kick, yebo free kick coordinating bepem. And I hear Peter Bonako say so. In this regard, Inter Milan cannot afford to go long, especially to their midfielders. Share the height of Çalhanoğlu, share the height of Zielinski, know the height of Barella. Barella proper box to box, energy. Drive or the Bemau, Hakan Çalhanoğlu, the silent deep lying playmaker who controls everything from his deep end. Then Marco Zielinski, tight spaces, excellent. The technical ability to see passes, playing in small spaces, or top notch. This is going to be a battle of the middle of the pack. And I think for AC Milan, or more the right balance. Okay. But yeah, Inter Milan debate between the wing backs. I don't think Salimekes and Estupinan will be ready and be able to face 1v1, man to man. Against Di Marco ni Luis Enrique. Luis Enrique, that means I'm for that Capo. Very fast, quick feet on the ball, get into good positions. And then if there is Danzo Dumfries or Robert and what on our over. Yeah. What on our over. And he offers a different quality and bite to this particular Inter Milan team. So I think if AC Milan will win this game, it's going to be about how the middle of the pack are able to exert their influence over Inter Milan's midfield. Then you look at if Inter wants to win this game, it's about how are the wing backs in Di Marco and Enrique able to push it forward. For me to say Allegri, very conservative and because there's Rafael Leao and Christian Pulisic. I think Ubetimama AC Milan over 0.5 in this game, so they should go as safe. AC Milan they should go in this game as safe because I'm also over 0.5 in also. Ubetimama bear 1 CD 20 pesos and 1 CD 30 pesos. Then you look at Obi to say Inter Milan to also win in the half in this particular encounter as risky in this game. But I think AC Milan scores a goal in this game against Inter Milan.
Good. Milan derby. ana obe shipa china yebehwe Mizaya no Ewa Brobe Shadrack say Mizaya is on heat and Ewa Brobe Ediaba Dramina Nyako Frank was watching the show live our Jolo. Please more update yati more update and no ane but Julius Kess say good morning Capo. I'm watching the show live from Sampa. So for me the player who holds PSG style system very well, Fabian Ruiz is the central intelligence of the team. Or cover spaces bebree team num to no and we say ohodi PSG team no me ferin finfin pa my CJ say fantastic with fire emojis jano enso etimi aso ewo mu end ho runum monitor dwumadi no eye yenko na afi obatan atenase na yenko hwe local no de no nso trendy oba say bibia boko
Kwaku very fine. Very fine. Jamen.
Merci.
Akino ka yes ye. Ah.
There na me.
O say obi o mambo for. O assembly on my canisa o.
There was also
a
word has no meaning. T.
Some words are
a word you can word down. Bruniba catch you say word has no meaning. It has its meaning on the context. It was statement. Into Rebecca word no. Rebecca say.
What can you say?
O say.
What can you say?
No, Charlie or tough one.
Or tough one.
And there's a
Charlie or before you.
Is it a word has
Charlie or before you?
Okay, English. A meaning of word. It's me. You
have to understand the answer. But then the media and I'm trying to borrow. Jessica. Mami. Muna ofie mutiu. Omuni misa asema kan no. Anya fe na be chechire mo say otofo no no.
O da bi titi wa nche
ma nche.
No. Amincho. Tie.
O da na mko na meduma na mko. O de twa so do be.
Na wo ba ka so na ene ko fa ba be.
Ya ka bia ufi. Misi tufu se twira ka mi me ma ka chechire.
Me ye twi student tie.
Man ka chechire mo.
O se me dey.
We tufu. O tufu afa mo.
Me ma ka ma sem no na be tumu fu.
Asamba na ka.
Me say a word has own meaning. It has its own meaning on the context. And me say and when in context I'm any one thing I'm a friend or tough one.
Okay.
What you see?
Okay.
And to me nini me no nkomo.
Me nkomo na dey tough one.
Nini me no na. Ye beka so be a killer. Killer o dey mo kuni pa na o ye dey. Baby a serial killer. Me
there. Yo killer Mali. What's up?
Oni wizard oni Jamaica. Na mutrema why. Aha.
Opa fa peja efutu de.
Don't responsible.
Enyi mo anu awon so beti wa. So beti wa. Unsa de enyi mo. Eye dimbo entulu a eteto ntuma.
Teacher yati yana hasi
ayana makati ni
yati boss
nyeni ajani mo watifie na se ni mo yuzo awore bakan se ajani mo wiye ne yemre fie komo kakra na bibias etimi kwa kama na soda ki yakọ the Black Queens of Ghana say and China Pinks Ladies Cup and so timba so na Pink Ladies Cup and so etimi to jano the tense o Michael Krogan echifa Hong Kong so echifa Russia echifa China so na ko se Tanzania abo final game na so the tense na nyama ba ku nyeni bia na kokko so anti empanifo ya se o ma call bibia of o ma yeso be trophy no and so etima the Black Queens of Ghana ama bias etimi ko kama we air time anes omode trophy na ekoma the Black Queens of Ghana esoro no hotel room na goalkeeper ni din ade Cynthia Conlan wano that goal post mo enso the Black Queens of Ghana woba Ghana so boss Samatas ladies ona baba we enso timboni le ball wano ana winning nurse na best goalkeeper of the tournament okipu 2 clean sheets 2 matches nurse no 8 bars so no che Doris Brodua Sabaka Danfo no the tennis ono so in top scorer our tournament and so etimi eto no 3 goals ama bians etimi ko kama say bibia so etimi ko ya don ko
Mopi Emirate Fonti Pink Ladies Cup to Ghana and emerging victorious Bibia so etimi kwa kama so etimi de mai yantin sima ni anu komo kakra eso se Ghana Premier League no so emu ya dapa na emus ehu yenwam enso etimi e nurse na coach of the month of February nominees no and enso etimi abonten player of the month of February nominees no and enso etimi abonten tibadi kama coach of the month of February nominees no na ya she coaches no na ya din komo kakra say and tie coaches no Sir, club friend Ghost Stars coach friend Smith. Well, about 3 matches in February. When you need now one draw back okra, one lose back okra. Also 6 goals on a consider back okra. Papa the D answer at the National Din Amadou, our Kerala United. Well, about 3 matches. Also you need now one draw back, one lose back. Also 4 goals, one consider goal. Sanso on a coach friend Nana Keku Advertisement. Coach club and the division FC. Well, also you need sir. Draw mienu draw anaposa matches miensa oyini mienu draw baako and one lose baako kra 8 goals and also 4 goals and so etimiti ano Masau Didi Dramani of Fast Folk and so edi eremubi na the chance coach about 3 matches oyini baako draw mienu one lose bi 1 goal conceded now so also and also 1 goal scored no goal conceded anopanyino one and so timi don some emiate for more player of the month nominees na yemi komo kakasa Kingsley Redia na so timi jato so na bibia so etimi awakame sanse plus no jena samo atakumi wono abon ball and so etimi de ma club the D at Ghost Stars 3 matches 2 goals 0 assists 1 MVP and on so etimi je and match branch and D and so at Augustine Okra abon ball and so etimi de ma Bechem United 3 matches 3 goals 0 assists 0 MVP so and Abdurrahman about the ball and so etimi adema club of Kerala United one able 2 matches with 1 goal 0 assists 1 MVP and then for branch of son Isa about the ball adema young apostles Jana and Wontumi one about 3 matches also 2 goals 0 assists 1 MVP and Abibians etimi kwa the goalkeeper of the mountain na yeni komo kakra as usual goalkeepers no etimi ya juma and Abibians etimi ekokama now your goalkeepers are also goalkeeper of the month nominees now say Benjamin Asari able 2 matches to keep 2 clean sheets 0 goal conceded 1 win 1 draw. So and Emmanuel Kobi of Ghost Stars. One also 3 matches a boy no. On to keep 2 clean sheets, 1 goal conceded, minimum 3 wins and a bar 0 draw, 0 lose and also by man. I feel the goalkeeper of the moment Musa Zakari about the ball and some Adama Samates. One also about 3 matches, 2 clean sheets, 1 goal conceded, 0 win, 2 draws and a 1 lose and on this Prince Osai our dear masters yes penalty goalkeeper no about him says here one in 3 matches 2 clean sheets 1 goal conceded 0 win 3 draws 0 lose and on this timbawa you don some MTF and so etu abankase I was at me whipa. Essence Dr. Committee Sports Complex. Club and the D answer so at the Macy's Abo Academy and Sa Emma Bechem United. When also anti-manti Imano Ano and our go Sanso and a Brandon Enchi and our go and a Richard Danso at the Baku Piece Amania Miensa. Macy's Samsi answer at me really side game no. Mumami Imano Ano after Sa on also a winning man of the match award against Bechem United when you come over. And I'm also to the China Imano Ano after the game. And you be saying, Masa, one man renew, na say, and Anyama, Imamo, ano, and so it's say, we say, after so winning MVP.
Wow, give all the glory to God. It feels good, yeah, this victory, especially scoring against Bechem United. This is our first time winning against them, so it really feels good for us. Yeah.
Of course, and the goal you scored, take us through, because once you had that ball at your feet, you had options to pass, but you went for that shot and it was a brilliant goal in the end. Yeah, that was something that you've been doing consistently in training.
Of course. So when I had that chance, I had that instinct to shoot and then thank God it went in today.
Of course. Now, I mean, we are in a World Cup season. Everyone would love to play for the Black Stars. You've already...
Emmanuel also got the former club Beche United. And all Casereno, Miss Philin, also to the Mano. Nations FC coach from Paul Manso Mayanga. One of them also in a win against Beche United. Nessa this season, we shall Beche United. From Paul Manso, because against the start of the league, in the Southern no coach, a coach Bibiani Gold Stars, or Chamo. Bibiani Oko with Nations FC Bechem and also Okoko Adias and Mema said Ankoraman and also I was also Beche United a car and after the game coach from Paul Mayanga Edema supporters.
In the first half, we took control. We controlled the game, and we had 2 goals. Yes, but in the second half, when we came, normally if a team is down, he will try to push himself up, and then they also came in the midfield. They tried to play it, but then there was one thing we didn't do. Instead of trying to hold the ball, we shouldn't rush. Still, they wanted to score more. Yeah, but it's a good this thing. But at least we should also know how to when to go for a goal and then when to also hold the ball. So, but for me, I think it was a very good game for us. Yeah.
Now you scored very early as the 8th minute.
Mayanga and the Sans and 2 Jana and Mati Anna Yabusana says Emmanuel no go or say any confess boy what do say I was now Black Stars call up and coach from Mayanga Eyano Edmare.
It will depend on what the selectors need. There are a lot of things maybe they will want to see.
But do you think he has the quality?
Yeah, but he needs to be consistent. You see, consistency should be the key. He played good last week. This week too, he has done well. So we hope he can continue. Why not? Anything can happen. So for me,
from Paul Mayanga and no so do so friend Black Stars another Sans and 2 Jana a coach Kobina Amisa and a coach Bechem United a coach we are surprised with the results and also Timba so are not surprised with the results and the score and also Timba Yentie Kobina Amisa.
By the latest goal they scored against us. We were comfortable with even going with 1-0. But unfortunately, that is football for you. He speak by soul language. What you expect is not what you get.
Of course.
But I would say so far so good. The score margin is our problem, but the defeat is not a surprise to us. Because they are playing home and
of the Champions United and the Sans and 2 and the matches on Ness Etima to Vision FC and Abetina ni Aje Okeku the sports stadium. Now what turning and so to the February and not person Brekum Chelsea. Now I'm also at me at your face so and what FC Samatas 3 p.m. we both dreams as well St. Sports Arena and I'm also 2 games and also Etima to and one assistant coach at my Vision FC Asari Wilson one on preparation ahead of Brekum Chelsea game almost 8 on the Panino at Chelsea seminar all time sir game no about tough game. It's not going to be an easy game because club and the debate Brekum Chelsea and Sada and the yes and Sada and the easy game FMM Yentiano.
It's not going to be an easy game because of where Brekum Chelsea unfortunately find themselves on the log at this time of the season. So they will come in as wounded lions. But of course, they are coming to our home grounds. When we went there, they gave us a painful 1-0 defeat. They are coming to our home. We also have to do everything to ensure that we also get 3 points. But we know it is not going to come easy. They will come as wounded lions, like I said, and ensure that they will fight and finish the game with us as we don't expect. In fact, the
performance coach and so to the Babontia, you don't send PMT for league leaders. I am Mediama, head coach Brian Tanko, one Abdul Salim, and so at Medin Komaka preparation ahead of our United gamer. Almost 8 on a Sun game now. Obarabano, Namia Duma, and just a Grace Ashi, Obonum Abiama Mediama Sporting Club, officially, Bob Umberlanche, and so to Mago Panas. But in here, coach Ibrahim Tanko and Abdul Salim on preparation ahead of a game.
And we don't have to press any panic button. And the team, I mean, there's players and the technical team know what is at stake. And definitely we are doing everything possible and to make them happy again. And hopefully on Sunday we will start that.
Match really approaching here, win mentality near Deco because maybe our points na be doing it here. You need to drop it point be a with and as a win match really all out.
So tia kakra no so from Banamoti ye run our house of folk edin komo kakra so folk coach Didi Dramani and so on komo kakra na against club and the and so the Gold Stars omo consider 2 goals coach say 2 goals omo consider man very bad and nya kra yintie sema coach Didi Dramani edi tuja.
The 2 goals were very bad. The chances we missed was also not acceptable, and so they needed to take responsibility. And it is important that once we all know our tasks, and then we know what we are tasked to be able to do, and then we know our responsibilities. So at the end of the day, if you're not happy, you know definitely that you were not good enough, and you needed to put up some better.
Sama answetia kakra from answetia ba na yenram an kotokoni ni komo kakra opanya ni di at the points also interim coach Adama Kotokotimo na o say match bia dia omo fan serious na game where a very difficult game and I'm answetia na so omo ko tamalesa wo mo ko na omo ko wini abiatia Kaila United.
Match is very serious, and as you're saying, the task is very difficult. It is, yeah. You cannot say it's not, because the expectation from our fans and everything has gone high. They want to win and win it all, so it's very tough to. I mean, as you're saying, 17th, and then still we've not won a game there. I know it's going to be a very tough task for us.
How frustrating is it to go away, have a fantastic performance, come home, and we look a bit lethargic, so unconvincing? How frustrating is it for you as
it's not easy at all. It's a lot of thinking about it, what is going on, what is happening, why Kumasi, all those things are coming to cross up my mind. And what we think is we just need to, perform, and maybe one day we'll break that jeans, and then we can get a win here.
So it's your coach Prince Owusu and Sam Kono to Jana Capo Oka Honorable double. Oka no pa, yes. Yeah, double na say omo kwa ko ba 2-4 kwa ko ba obejina say o half Kaila, half RTU. Na o to ni say their first na say coming
of Tamale to bring their deaf body to support Karila of United to Karila. Majority of Karila supporters is majority of RTU supporters. All individual supporters in the park should divide themselves to Karila Park to support Karila to win their first match, which was very terrible to the people of northern Ghana.
Sometimes you are just bringing out some new words that are
from Capo. Your father can question free my down of private. Yeah, it's not a Diana Stars. A Diana Stars team no. We not tonkra. Ediama 11 wonders for no. Sir. Match no mo be bono. Enye so mo fa na gudie.
Okay.
Omo ba umla ye. Na edan ya fiewura ntu a kramu betu.
No mo issue no ma so we we dey.
Yeah,
fedire no.
Fedire no so ho. Unse.
What is here say?
Sir, unse. CEO we mami chirem CEO ko he no ye trate me se beku no obi na no kase beku no ni ade nyina wo dreams omo bo no kokko boy no e trate
eno ono an kan
ono an bi na no kan according to CEO of Diana Stars Bishop Atapoku trate ne se so obi na no a beku no dreams so ama no nam so eno na nam so a ye kwachi obi mia ne mene ye bonu pupu bon se do ebenya video na mamia aka ebro na ye bo sa supporter no
na mponsa team delegation
se dia si bo no o se na otuo na be bo ni bi se Diana Stars supporters union chairman aka se e do or die una ba ho dia de wo ye bia o me ye bi enti sa dia na ekoso no na unim se ever since we see no on say efe na babonte abaka bi
no fa statement bi
am mai on fa find bi am mai anka ba bi fu a But this time every for no
one say mbia say we no ya na basically a match of commissioner no on the day you report to be forward to the disciplinary committee.
It's one chair commissioner betro commissioner intro video pie babo ntini say ya
security the end yeah
we've seen it yeah who test match commissioner na dey kwasi won so atre match commissioner na fa na ho bayi so betro so intro
yeah interesting.
I am telling you, sir.
The case.
You see what the Maya who ye video so ye AI there. And your match commissioner sem. And your match commissioner sem. Say AI. And I want to share dreams home hopper. The video na man na. And then the match man no kasi so.
Me I cry there no. I say atabuku there no na. I say
atabuku there no is in the context of we na all can. And we na nam. And we need to speak to it because at the end of TV. I think for person share the course
for sure.
Na me tiare me country nti me kan akosi dia ade so me no mo na e cha aka eni wa no dia because look me we ugotu ka na akwa away na akwa home so akwa away game na Capo e dia dressing room na se ho ba bi away dressing room na chire ho wo na chire ho o yesa bia ugu so na bia fancy ba ne be kwa show na nigefo a you experience bi da me fa sansem ne tra so o ye traveler na bia utranye yokoto home team num baby na achiye bi na ba 102 Capo sebe enye me free Ghana sebe so experience bi da Capo ko ba ta mama na no kra because sa video dey me hubi on internet be brave na nya de so ni kra
and then I have to follow respond to it. That's how people
see me ni permanent
condemning the atena mama for kasa the ball no team no belonging to the FA president Nintina we say because we don't get it
because Africa let appear so league mu ya bucket abaso ni abo abaso ni abo assess the sanitization by league ni be from even including the referee for coaches when I go say three gentlemen boss am friend am one kwadu coach Tanko and referee media game be go say three gentlemen wa money padi it's all friend sure. Because you put the game in disrepute
Abdullah Ghazali na oko media ma oko boakra bi oko oso akọ slap ya
nanu die
ya no video na ma aye mu release statement the babo tin condemn me fine
some word won some mo keka no some word so on trolling sir but the mo kano it is termed as who place game no in disrepute
o mo rofu ba ko no
disrepute re dia e ya bom kwa dia
o mo rofu ba ko ya no mo chwa put the game into
disrepute no so what yen share but
justice deny no and delay no
I be because and I don't know why the video is not even on the screen.
Is that like Palma
Capo because I did a TV ya kasache o kasache de TV hwe my o cry TV kasa na de my let's treat a tier for what they deserve. Video me is so common. You mere guy no guy na me no come inside BDM say bebu.
Oh yeah.
TikTok dey bia the fool the body so the e ma move. But say no see here guy na pa no Capo e dey akububu emu betu. Mama nyesa.
Very bad. Hooliganism in the game they are preach at.
Mama nyesa. Oh. Mr. Capo, you have experiences so the car na call you, or the commercial car na call you. So when chiho na your boot team no for bass na for the udimika ba o do ajibo na we say I don't say ko sir say na see a jojo guy na pa na me ra ho but it is what it is. Emmanuel Ano of Bechem United me the ghost eton Chenya
Nations
formerly of Bechem currently Nations Emmanuel Ano me the ghost and the statistics to Chenya he is my best forward in Liga Eboemo.
Okay.
Well, my best forward. He's my best forward.
Wow.
He's my best forward in Liga Eboemo. My 7 year goals in number of times to be actually we've been here. Now bet negotiate Moaje top scorer award and now referee. I'm on Moaje top scorer yet they were begging saying from what the national team because probably coach no or how that time they felt I bet negotiate technically ultimately 15 to be our corner.
Yeah.
Amankona the same thing they had the goals yet
they probably didn't have the technical capacity to fit into the Blaster at that time. Now I will go to the buy, but I am telling you, say Emmanuel Ano. What the goals at Tonchaya attack me, my striker. He's informed so much.
Yeah.
But how the goals at Tonchaya who didn't come about a league, the brilliance of certain players, what they offer you in a game, apart from getting the chances, feeding off these chances, and not is everything. Or a very versatile, or ball right, a ball left, or to be ball behind the striker, or to be lead line. Very, very mobile, and technically, or body not even doing now. Capo are not there. In fact, say a chant team coach Kasimengel Frefreno. I might be building that team now farm and not projecting your partner. Not your scouting system is very poor. He's a very, very good chap. But me who go no against and nations go no Shama Monona me who say no. I know it's really showing consistency. I think that the goal also come in here, come the building come krabi. The angle now only say after game the mutala busa no asem.
Yeah.
I know do go the home come but go no so my yanko. Yeah, this is the goal. Go yeah, who say Antoinette Sano. He is equally good and more swift in the box. When he technically maybe offer going from distance, couple but so your box this guy. He's so instinctive.
Wow.
My follow the pa. And you're very calm. If it makes me a case, so open players say a foul or more a league in Mupana because okay people on the chair or to be deep cut echo like game no about the final third. But you for the money pa and that makes me a case if nations crowd or buy no share I shall say no the partnership with first such a water. I'm not a flourishing last season boy about halfway. Later on Boris Banju then Burkina Faso number 9 also so on the boy Jumapa and currently he has some different partnership in the final third after coach from Promotional by. I mean, yeah, can Liga here boy dia. I have so many forwards that may respect him pa. Emmanuel Mafo of Adriana. He's playing so well. I bet I'm more of Massa and Tikotoko. He's playing so well. Even a come by a crowd, we've said it. Hubert Jow gets it close to the boxer. He can also finish equally good. But I mean, I'm not one brilliant forward.
Coach say kakra consistency the bad they are with me a campaign is in be a Black Stars.
When you say about friendly game be, I'm in corner so I may makumu. Your ball friendly game be. I'm a friend media my Prince Owusu. I'm a friend Kevin and Kruma. Those two call-ups, I was so happy for the boys. But as some me kind of say, maybe I not call South Africa ni be for coach because they going to one Blaster. But so when you press back 4 from midfield to attack, wo de no kre na wo de ye adwuma pa de a ano no se koka ho.
Okay.
Me near some prince quality player Kevin Nkrumah. I mean, but I'm not should also be in that bracket.
Okay.
So I now come now I say maybe a channel or money bad so. But he has the technical capacity to play at the highest level.
Okay.
Anyway, very calm. On foul no man move foot that division 2 for a coach me. You try body now can clear. No. I know he's a very good player. He's really humble. He's really humble. What would you man be able to say? Me can in the and I want them to call him because Blaster friendly matches be brave. He's one for the future.
Okay.
He's one for the future. And they are Jordan Munina no.
Yeah.
34 no more no.
Sure.
Or a couple of first chess no. Kotoko, you're very careful. That game against Karela, we are going to lose. As I'm not can say, and I say every be our team also no team means will be because Prince also only experience with a league and see Nuruddin Ahmed. That's number 1. Number 2, also Africa must say Karela Tamale. A big trip with the mount. Whatever be the case, your hydration should be up there. Lucky crisis say whether no crowd from it won't far off a tampon mo koyina no o riana wo from so say obe ben ho kakra no me should nim hot climate right now. But so open coach be our crack of fat 3 points and you're feeling something said you're farmer and I mean come chroma and your coach no dina medo all the G League you know some text no. He built one of the best squads in our league. Say 4-2-3-1 convertible 4-2-3-1 now better than 4-3-3 no with Evans so Usu Emmanuel K say you that squad no kai Emmanuel Mama mo Baba Musa at that time he was valued 175,000 euros as the most valuable player. David Odro or Kobasa no. Coach Nuruddin Ahmed is a highly experienced coach in our league. Obeha coach Prince Owusu papa. One.
Karela so mo league no manya bad o mo guso ball.
Come on.
And Nuruddin is working hard for
it's a goal per game. I'm share 24. If I could be right there. It's a goal per game. After 24 rounds of fixtures, I think they have 24 goals. It's a average. It's a goal per game for Karela. And they have one of the best defensive sides. About the 7th on the league log.
Yeah, with 35 points.
Oh, Capo, Karela performing so. My direction said, my coach, Prince.
You only got to no points in New Year was out.
Yeah.
We're just Kotokono 39 and on 35 in tier 4 points. Or shall close the gap by 1.
Kotoko Heart of Lions, you know. Now me coach Sra Seobed and me catch Robert say Kotoko best in this game should be draw, but that draw crano has to be more strategic and sana ba. We be na me kan no. Say a game I walk as a make Kotoko me na me by dia so. One, they have to respect Karela and set up so well. What in common I say? Yeah. Men can say Kopia Karela sin check Kotoko any about town. You don't have the boys. Respect Karela. Fix and structure your team so well. Respect their threats because your team too much. I carry the ball back to Neta. And Sanwati. We might end the game 1-0. Now make the Bama there and not about the game Air first. Or should go first, there could be a very positive outcome from that game. But Karela first. I don't think Kotoko Benya point to be at the free Karela there, but they'll probably lose the game. If only person munya game munya control, Kotoko to try the coming inside and person metre. Okay. Karela no they defend well. Because Russia first you'll be forced to open up. Abasa the counter away. Please, that game is very tricky. Okay. Another tricky game, Brekum Chelsea. Capo Brekum Chelsea were relegation and no. Yeah. Yeah, ko some bodu. Go I'm for table in bra. Or the relegation and all. Look, this weekend and Yema Bayo papa because all blacks so called Heart of Lions so Pondo. Now only say all blacks become Chelsea in the relegation and all. I know blacks and what the couple. All blacks were 28 points. Become Chelsea were 28. We are -1, -6. Sure. And why by being a bit Chelsea namana? Became United so 30 yeah me and son so dreams hobby Heart of Lions coach ni Sam Obodu wan hwe afidi ngwe Charlie you are done I don't think so but no so very the game we say the best a draw and that draw has to be strategic what is a make draw bu vision for no mutim na hu ni say no betu do ho apart from some show yeah okobiemu all blacks omo born free goals. He was the first small blast ball free goals see and this season cause some word will become Chelsea because one respect on show respect sure. All blast on free division one affair no ba you could be couple or mobe how now the weekend way so I'm a very good plan and share vision or what you give now on by no vision between born free goals become Chelsea ati a come sign relegation mo ana making see coach am word any e ba sa so I ntwima no because when you adwuma ya boy coach nim say e mane conform Debbie. Intimate Brekum Chelsea. Coach Kasim Mengo so. Yem permanent fan ko ra ho. O de anya bia afre koto so. Coach yero ho. O de ya catch no uni am ketwa. O e chire ya. Coach yero ho. Yero na monse sanu mo na emo ide. Na Coach Kasim Mengo so na you All Blacks. All Blacks so. O ko pando Charlie. Coach Kasim Mengo so na statistics yo. Yeah. And a fatty soldier actually demand a year and fatty name bad cry. No, no, but dear coach, as well, the coach suit you show you. Coach, yeah, Kasim, what would you ma? Any ready about corner, Vivian, fine. Why? I was say, I was your senior coach is a Casana. Zooming noon by TV, no, I am Timmy new TV in the new. Aguziyaba. Yeah, sure. Yeah, we sure happy weekend. Yes. Coach Kasim Mingo. Coach. Yeah, also I'm pretty man confirm. Oh yeah. Imagine one weekend. That's what do Kasim Mingo in a confirm. Never had dream pa. Whoa. But I see. Yamra. Dr. Amuzu. Okay. The Penny's doctor.